I would. I'd get my wife to walk me on it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Please help us recognize the 2024 Carroll Football Senior and Pep Band Seniors. Our first senior today for football is Mason Harwood. Mason is a defensive lineman from Burley, Idaho, majoring in business management and marketing. He is accompanied by his parents, Gary and Greg Harwood. Over the past 2 seasons, Harwood has registered 7 tackles.
Today is the battle for first place in the league.
Congratulations, plans to travel and spend some time with his brother in Baton Rouge. Additionally, he aims to use his knowledge and skills to make a meaningful impact in his chosen field. Ladies and gentlemen, Mason Harwood.
Let's ask them how they have it in the truck. They may have it in an order that we need to do it in. But
next we have Jacob Hans. Jacob is an offensive lineman from Wenatchee, Washington, majoring in secondary education and social studies. He's accompanied to the field by his parents, Susie and Christopher, sister Katerina, Aunt Cheryl, family friends Liz and Carroll, as well as his girlfriend Amy. Congratulations. Jacob plans to stay in the Haldane area and secure a teaching job. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Hans.
Yeah. They look like they got a lot of speed.
Jack England. Jack is a fullback from Meridian, Idaho, majoring in health sciences with a public health minor. He's accompanied by his parents, Melissa and Bryce, Uncle Troy, girlfriend Casey, Grandpa Bob, and Grandma Bev.
I want to talk about that.
Saints fans, please join us and Jack in wishing Grandma Bev a very happy 80th birthday. Jack is a multiple-time academic all-conference selection, and upon graduating, plans on attending physical therapy school. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack England. Next we have Nick Moreau. Nick is a defensive lineman from Missoula, Montana, majoring in health sciences. He's accompanied by his father, Albert, mother, Nicole Moore, and brother, Steve.
I said, is it in the bag?
You don't open gates and everything.
Dude, I got everything. I got gifts for Christmas like in the 15.
You got something to hook into then?
No, you're putting that in your ear right now.
Okay.
That's for me on the sideline.
Okay.
Brian is a linebacker from Butte, Montana.
They had it rained for that's on
civil engineering.
my camera's not reading.
So are you in the open?
Brother Danny, grandfather Jerry, and grandmother Judy. A multi-time academic all-conference selection, Brian plans to stay in Montana and work towards becoming a practicing engineer. He would like to thank his teammates and coaches for an amazing 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Holland. Keel Potter. Keel is a defensive back from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, majoring in business financial planning. He's accompanied to the field by his parents, Josh and Autumn, sister Hannah, and brother-in-law Jake, fiancée Kathleen, grandparents Tim and Diana, as well as
Football weather, too. This is good.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4 from Nelson. Bobby Tuck.
Test 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Helen, everybody. Frontier Conference Football on SWX.
Switch positions.
Ladies and gentlemen, Keel Potter.
Working with a viewfinder.
Ben Melhoff.
He said, tilt down a little, zoom in a little, and iris up. I'm just the messenger. Okay, yeah, he will. He's got you.
Oh, this thing was running around with
Entering the week, Ben has 12 career tackles.
I'll take it. Looks a lot better than the one I don't have.
He's a multiple-time academic all-conference selection, and upon graduation, plans to be a field engineer for bridge and marine structures. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Melhoff.
It's one of the better songs, Iris, from
Next we have Jaden Lamb.
Buffalo rock scene.
Jaden
Tough.
is an offensive lineman from Townsend, Montana, majoring in business. He's
Jack, what's the score of the Ohio State game?
Riley, parents Landon and Janina,
17-13.
brother Connor,
Who's winning, Penn State?
No, Ohio State.
his younger
My
sister
bet, that's
Sophia
what's
could
my
not be
parlay,
here.
Chris,
She's
that's what's
competing
winning.
in
What's your
football
parlay?
right now.
It's a lot of
Jaden has
legs.
started each of the last 2 seasons at center and a
What do you got? Like a 5-teamer or something?
Yeah, you see uncut
and
gems.
explore career opportunities
No.
as enterprise in their management program.
Ohio
Ladies and
State,
gentlemen,
Montana
Jaden
Grizzlies,
Lamb.
the Tennessee Volunteers, and the Navy Midshipmen.
So what? $5 to win.
What are you, the only person in this parlay? Holy cow.
Not through Montana Sports Bet though, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. That is, they don't even let you adjust the spread on sports bet, but they do let you do like weird prop bets.
Hunter is a defensive lineman from
Keeping us
Windsor,
good, folks.
Colorado, majoring in biology. He is accompanied to the field by his parents Bruce and Teresa, sister Daria, brother Zach, and several other family members. The semifinalists for the William V. Campbell Trophy and all-conference selection last season enters the week with back-to-back wins on Iowa, defensive and punching specialty honors. And this series has been a 15 sacks, 3 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles, and 1
The
fumble
last national
recovery.
title for
2009?
Upon graduation, he
Nope,
plans
10,
on
2010.
attending
Not
medical
09
school.
season, 10 year. Yeah, because they
Oh,
played
there
it.
it is. Okay, yep.
Hunter Park. Cam Pruitt. Cam is a linebacker from Boise, Idaho, majoring in civil engineering. He is accompanied by his parents, Melissa and Randy, sister Mariah, brother-in-law Tanner, nieces Paisley and Hadley, as well as Aunt Jenny. Cam enters the week as the reigning Frontier Defensive Player of the Week, following an 11 tackle, 1 interception performance last week against College of Idaho.
How you doing?
In his career, Cam has 94 total tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss,
Which one is it?
1.5 sacks,
Ohio State.
3
What did you
passes broken
take?
up, 1 forced
Oh,
fumble,
Buckeyes need to win
3
by 3.
full fumble
And they're up
recoveries,
17-13?
a block kick, and an INT.
Yeah, a little bit.
No.
Upon graduation, he helps to work as an engineer for the Forest Service.
That's my bet against James Franklin.
I know, that's why he's nervous.
I've seen that movie a million times.
Did you see this morning on game day where they had Keegan-Michael Key?
No.
So they had Keegan-Michael Key, and he came on, and initially they did it was like, hey, we've got James Franklin here. So he had the glasses on, but he still had the full beard. And so Keegan-Michael Key he's impersonated James Franklin a bunch because they look exactly alike. Oh, it was hilarious.
That thing where he came to the game, did you see that?
Yeah.
Well, they also had that graphic where it was like James Franklin is like 1 and 9 versus top 10 teams.
Right.
He's 1 and 5.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna win.
Somebody's going to go feel like they normally do, and somebody's going to go home happy.
A movable force versus a stoppable object today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Sellers.
That's the new, so they've got...
Lastly, for the football program, senior Jack Harbaugh.
wellness center in. It's pretty awesome.
That looks nice.
Jack is a quarterback from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho,
That's the basketball.
majoring
Yep.
in elementary education.
Gymnasium and
He's a performance in Carroll history.
Let's go down to Jack for a sideline. Hey guys, I just want you to know that Ohio State did win today, so I'm sitting pretty good. Montana.
Legs down. Third quarter. Jack's 3 legs into his parlay, still alive.
Wow.
The guy praying the hardest on the sideline isn't the priest that oversees campus today. It's our own Jack Marshall. Jack, what do you got? Sorry guys, it's just on my phone checking on my parlay.
Midshipman laying 4, and I'm still in it. So travel, running back.
Gunner Yates and then Jack Burka.
Why are we throwing the ball?
Jack, are we in the frame?
He's talking to the guy he's got the parlay with.
It's a little really still.
From Nelson Stadium on the campus of Carroll College, this is college football on SWX. This afternoon, it's a battle of top-ranked teams in the NAI, and a battle for first place in the Frontier Conference is 8th-ranked Southern Oregon. Hits town to take on number 21, Carroll College. Hi again, everyone. Chris Byers along with Bobby Beers. And Bobby, you can't understate the schedule, the traveling that these teams have to make, especially Southern Oregon, and tough to come all this way and get it and come away with a win.
Well, the Frontier Conference Championship, that road starts today. Carroll College they've got to win out to do this, but more importantly for Southern Oregon, they've got to find a way to win on the road. Traveling from Ashland, Oregon to Montana has been no easy feat for them. They got beat at Tech a couple weeks ago. They've got to find a way here if they want to keep their hopes alive for that Frontier Conference Championship.
Contrasting styles by both teams for sure. For Southern Oregon, it's all about running the football, and they got a good one.
Yeah, number 22, Gunner Yates, we're going to talk about him quite a bit today. Gets the ball in a lot of ways into his hands. This guy's a powerful back, but that running game for Southern Oregon is going to dominate. He's got 1,000 yards all ready to go. They got a couple more games left.
Quite the opposite for Carroll College. Their quarterback, Jack Burka, number 1 in the country in passing completion, and he is coming off a sensational game last week.
Yeah, we talked about the running game for Southern Oregon. Jack Burka's operated this Carroll College offense regardless of who's at running back. They're down to the 4th-string guy today, but he's distributed the ball, found efficiency in the running game and the passing game as well. He's had a magical year, set some records along the way. It's going to be a great one, Chris.
All right, Southern Oregon, Carroll College, the battle for first place on the line in the Frontier Conference, and your kickoff is next. Football on SWX. This afternoon, it's a battle of top-ranked teams in the NAI and a battle for first place in From Nelson Stadium on the campus of Carroll College, this is college football on SWX. This afternoon, it's a battle of top-ranked teams in the NAI, and a battle for first place in the Frontier Conference is 8th-ranked Southern Oregon. Hits town to take on number 21, Carroll College. Hi again, everyone. Chris Byers along with Bobby Beers. And Bobby, you can't understate the schedule, the traveling that these teams have to make, especially Southern Oregon, and tough to come all the way, get it, and come away with a win.
Well, the Frontier Conference Championship, that road starts today. Carroll College they've got to win out, but more importantly for Southern Oregon, they've got to find a way to win on the road, traveling from Ashland, Oregon to Montana. No easy beat for them. They got beat at Tech a couple weeks ago. Got to find a way here if they want to keep their hopes alive for that Frontier Conference championship.
The contract side by both teams for sure. For Southern Oregon, it's all about running the football. They got a good one. Yeah, number way to win.
Frontier Conference championship starts today. Carroll College they've got to win out to do that. But more importantly for Oregon, they've got to find a way to win on the road. Traveling from Ashland, Oregon to Montana has been no easy beat for them. They beat at Tech a couple weeks ago. They've got to find a way here if they want to keep their hopes alive for the Frontier Conference championship.
And contract styles, both teams for sure. For Southern Oregon, it's all about running the football, and they got a good one.
Yeah, number 22. We're going to talk about him quite a bit today. Gets the ball in a lot of ways.
Which one of these two do I like? Well, I like them both equally. I don't know. It's choosing a favorite job. I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna install those gentlemen. I'm glad we got a camera from the prehistoric for me. Oh, that's way too down.
His hand, this guy's a powerful back. That running game for Southern Oregon is dominant. He's 1,000 yards all ready to go. They got a couple more games
We have
left.
this.
Right, the opposite for Carroll College, Jack Perka. Number one in the country in passing, and he is coming off sensational last week.
Talk about the for Oregon. Jack Perkins operated this college offense regardless of who's a running back. Spring today. He's distributed the ball from efficiency in the
From Nelson Stadium on the campus of Carroll College, this is college football on SWX. This afternoon, it's a battle of top-ranked teams in the NAIA. And a battle for first place in the Frontier Conference is 8th-ranked Southern Oregon. Hits town to take on number 21 Carroll College. Hi again, everyone. Chris Byers along with Bobby Beers. And Bobby, you can't understand the schedule, the traveling that these teams have to make, especially Southern Oregon. To take all this way and come away with a win.
Championship that starts. Carroll College they've got to win out to do this, but more importantly for Southern Oregon, they've got to find a way to win on the road, traveling from Western Oregon to Montana. Feet for they got beat at Tech a couple weeks ago. They've got to find a way here if they want to keep their hopes alive for that Frontier Conference championship.
Contrasting styles by both teams for sure. For Southern Oregon, it's all about running the football, and they got a good one.
Yeah, number 22, Gunnar Yates. We're going to talk about him quite a bit today. Gets the ball in a lot of ways into his hands. This guy's a powerful back, but that running game for Southern Oregon is going to dominate. He's got 1,000 yards all ready to go. They got a couple more games left.
Quite the opposite for Carroll College. Their quarterback, Jack Perka, #1 in the country in passing completion, and he is coming off a sensational game last week.
Yeah, we talked about the running game for Southern Oregon. Jack Perka's operated this Carroll College offense regardless of who's at running back. They're down to their 4th-string guy today, but he's distributed the ball, found efficiency in the running game and the passing game as well. He's had a magical year, set some records along the way. It's going to be a great one, Chris.
All right, Southern Oregon, Carroll College, the battle for first place on the line in the Frontier Conference, and your kickoff is next.
A little chilly, kind of football weather, as you'd say.
Thank you so much, Jack. Look forward to hearing your reports this afternoon, and lots to talk about, Bobby. We've spent so much time talking about the Carroll College schedule and the gauntlet, really, that they are staring at. It started last week with the College of Idaho. check that off, got that done. Southern Oregon today, and then they close at Dillon against Western Montana and Montana Tech. So even though the Saints are in first place, unbeaten so far, they've got a stretch of 4 weeks that is very difficult.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Purcell this week, and he's really been complimenting the way that his kids have risen to the occasion. Yeah, they don't control who they play, but they've been able to build this team. They've had some injuries at running back that we mentioned in the open. But again, they can't control who they play. They just rise up, hit the guy in front of them, and they've come out on top, save for that first game that we did here on SWX when they opened up the new revised version of Nelson Stadium. But along the way, Jack Perkins had a great year. They found different ways to do it on offense. And last week in Caldwell, Idaho, they came up against the first test as they ran this gauntlet in College of Idaho, ran right through them, hoping for the same thing for their last home game here against Southern Oregon. And then after that, we're going to have to wait and see.
And you just see the keys to the game for both these teams as we come in. You mentioned Jack Perka in the open, the 4-year starter at quarterback for Carroll. And I remember in week 1, Bobby, you said in that first game that you thought he had to have a better than average season. He had to be very, very good for the Saints to win, and he's been more than that. He leads the nation in passing percentage at 74%, and last week set the single season passing yardage mark at Carroll as he threw for over 450 yards.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and he's had to do it in different ways. The running game that first couple of weeks, Carroll ran into Tech, and he turned the ball over early there. They found a way to climb back into that one, and their offensive and defensive lines have really allowed that growth around Jack Perka. And then Perka, as a 4-year starter, you don't get that type of development unless you've got a mature guy snapping the ball, getting the ball snapped to him. And he's done a great job all season long, setting records along the way in a very history program here at Carroll College.
Carroll College is going to get the football to start the game. Southern Oregon, they've been good since week 1. They were picked near the top of the frontier and in the top 25, and they've stayed there all season long. This one, a short kick. It's going to hit right at the 15-yard line and very returnable, and up over the 20 goes Ryan Rickman, and that's going to be first down and 10 for the Saints as they get the ball to start this game.
Well, Rickman's looks like he put the ball on the ground right there, Chris, as he stays down right there, and sure enough, there's the signal right there as the defense comes out. And Southern Oregon does get the turnover on the very first play of the game on the kick, so the ball goes on the ground, and the Raiders come away with a big early turnover.
Wow, what a way to start this one. And you see it was a very short kick.
Yeah, the Great Falls Realty replay right there as Rickman picks that up and just heads downhill. Not a lot of imagination, but helmet on the ball on the ground, and the Raiders come away with it. So their offense out early here after the turnover in special teams for Carroll early.
All right, so the Raiders right away get a huge turnover. Gunnar Yates, of course, we talked about him in the backfield, over 1,000 yards rushing the football this season. And their quarterback, Blake Ashudo, out of the gun on first down from the 23-yard line. Yates gets the football right side, gets to the corner, inside the 20 to the 19. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, the corner right there, Daxon Graham coming up on the edge. The offensive line for Southern Oregon has done a great job all season with their run fits and able to get him out on the edge there early.
Well, and Bobby, you talk about having to make a long road trip. You come into a hostile environment, huge home field advantage for the Saints. To get a turnover like that to start the game, couldn't ask for anything better if you're Southern Oregon. So here we go on second down, already inside the red zone, where they have been very good this season. Shudo. Little play action this time. Fires across the middle's got a man. And a short gain on the play. A nice catch by Sawyer Cleveland. But wrapped up immediately at the 15-yard line. Oh, no, call it the 18-yard line. Brings up third down.
Yeah, just a safety right there. Braden Orlandi, the freshman, 6'1", 180-pound freshman at the safety spot coming downhill. Looked like he jarred the ball loose on that one. They're going to give him the completion. But I'll tell you what, this Carroll defense really starts up front with them. Great defensive line play all season from the Saints. It's got to continue here if they want to hold these guys out of the end zone.
So third down, first big play of the game. Ashudo looks left, fires into the back of the end zone, and that is Incomplete. Looks like he had it. Looked like Cleveland came down with it, but knocked away at the last moment.
Yeah, great play there, finished by the Caden Hansen. We have him listed as a backup safety right there. Came up with a starter-type play as these wide receivers for Southern Oregon, big, tall, long guys. Right here as you see the replay from Great Falls Realty Replay, and Hansen just pulls the arm away. The ball falls loose. Remember, the ground can't cause a fumble, but it can cause an incompletion, and Hansen making a big play early for this Carroll College defense.
Brian Batris on now for the field goal attempt. They'll spot it at the 25, so this will be a 35-yard attempt. Batris, ball is down, has plenty of leg, and this is no good.
Great answer by this Carroll College defense. Early pinned back after the turnover on the kickoff. Comes up big, and no points for Southern Oregon as they get the ball in favorable field position, but come away with nothing.
All right, let's go down and check in with Jack Marshall.
Yeah, I just have two quick things. The first things first, on that last drive, Braden Orlandi, number 16 on Carroll College, their strong safety. He was flagged for targeting last week against College of Idaho, but that was reversed by the Frontier. So, as you saw, he will be out there today. And the second thing was good defense by Carroll College on special teams there. Something to look out for today.
All right, so the Saints get the ball for the first time after the missed field goal. Here's Perka. Looks across the middle, and that is knocked down. Nice play defensively. It looked like Askelchin was going to come up with a big gain, but a nice job by, it was Dylan Daniels that stepped in and knocked that one away.
Yeah, the linebacker right there, Ty Glumblick, in his drop, sees a Colchin coming across the middle, just drops right in the passing lane there, gets his hands on it. So Carroll still going to their playmakers. Downfield is Perka, trying to distribute the ball throughout it as he tries to figure out who's behind him this week at running back.
Incomplete pass brings up second down. Here's Archie Laferge with the carry up over the 25, and a nice gain. They're going to need him today. He's a redshirt freshman, of course, out of Great Falls, CMR.
Yeah, Laferge right there. You got to compliment both lines, both offensive and defensive lines. That's where this one's going to really be played out today, as Laferge able to get a good gain on second down, and it sets up Carroll with manageable situation here, pinned back a little bit in their own territory after the turnover.
Laferge 217 yards coming into this game in relief as they have gone deep into the depth chart at running back. Here's Perka. Got time. Now gets pressure, and he's taken down inside the 20. Ball on the ground. And the Raiders signal they have the ball. And they do. So Southern Oregon, 2 straight turnovers, and the Raiders will get it in the red zone again.
Well, Gabe Foster from his defensive end spot just beats the right tackle, Timothy Selbus, around the edge right there, but Foster able to lay the hit on Perka right there. Jars the ball loose, and O'Shea Miller from his defensive tackle spot just lands right on it. Johnny on the spot. Little luck played in there as O'Shea Miller able to come up with the turnover. So second turnover early for Carroll College, again in Southern Oregon, coming to put the pressure on this Carroll defense.
So the Saints defense will be tested again early in this first quarter. They turned the Raiders away on a missed field goal, and now here they are again in the red zone. First down from the 19. And the give is to Yates, and he is wrapped down and taken down immediately by Hunter Peck from his linebacker position, and the senior from Windsor, Colorado, on a nice open field tackle.
Well, one of the things that happened on there, Ashuto had to go up and get his tight end back up on the line of scrimmage right there, hands it off to Yates. But Hunter Peck from his defensive end spot, as you said, just beats his man. And this defensive line of Carroll has come up big all year. They're one of the best and most deep front four in the conference, and it allows those linebackers to run free. And that front seven of Carroll really has done a nice job all year for the Saints.
So a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. And they give it to Yates, who breaks a tackle and then falls forward to the 10-yard line. Very close to a first down, and this kid is the real deal running the football. We mentioned 1,000 yards already, averages 129 yards a game, 6.8 yards a carry. Bobby?
Well, right there, he's running through contact right there. You see somebody grabbing onto his undershirt as he hits the ball right up inside. Has good success, and this offensive line for Southern Oregon, one of the things watching film all week, I really was impressed with their run fits up front, and they continue to move their feet on contact, creating space for Yates to make hay all day.
And that'll bring up a 1st and goal as they get the first down, so just inside the 10, 1st and goal from the 9. 11:53 to play, opening quarter. Back-to-back turnovers by Carroll College put Southern Oregon in business early in this one. Ashuto with the gives to Yates, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, stays on his feet inside the 5, stretching for the end zone, and will be taken down at the 2. So Yates with a gain of 7, breaking tackles, and it's 2nd and goal.
Nice little run, little inside zone down there, just a little bit away from the line of scrimmage, but he does a great job of bouncing it outside. He's a nice mix of both power and speed. Jump cut to the outside, and Carroll having to rally late to bring him down before he hits the end zone.
They load up the right side there for that offensive line, and now they go direct snap to Yates. Looks for the end zone, falls forward, and he is going to be stopped short. So he needed 2, got 1, 3rd and goal.
Yeah, their version of the Wildcat. Carroll defense ready for it as a linebacker crew. We talk about different things and people having success, but one of the things that Carroll defensive line does is they eat up a lot of blocks inside. Number 9 and 91, Forrest Suero and Garrett Warden do a great job inside at the nose tackle and defensive tackle spot for them.
Yep, they go direct snap again, and this time Yates falls forward for the touchdown.
Little full house backfield action as Yates able to show some patience right there and just bust it up inside his holes, present themselves.
Well, no secret what they're going to do. You line up and give it to the 1,000-yard rusher, and they went to him 3 straight times. He gets the 9 yards for the touchdown. Is where that started on the 1st and goal.
Give it to the big back. Let those big hog mollies up inside. Get a little push, create a little space. He usually finds an area to exploit it, and right there found the checkerboard end zone. And Carroll goes down early here.
Batteris on for the extra point. Now we'll see.
Well, Chris, the last time we had SWX here in Helena when they opened up the refurbished Nelson Stadium, Carroll did this exact same thing, turning the ball over early to Tech, managed to claw their way back into that. So they are resilient, but they continue to dig themselves holes here at home, especially when you and I show up.
Well, you're right. In that first game against Tech, they played catch-up all the way into the 3rd quarter and then made a really nice rally to make it a close game, and a game they could have won in the 4th quarter. So Batteris again, this one a little bit longer for the extra point, and it is up and through. Now, wait a minute, flag on the play.
Yeah, good pressure up inside. Wonder if that came at the expense of something illegal happening, as we're going to get a little action from our referee here.
Raiders score the touchdown. They lead it here early in the 1st quarter. Their outstanding running back from a yard out. Gave it to him on 3 consecutive carries into the end zone for the first score of the day, and it's a 7-0 lead over Carroll College. We talked about this in the open as well, Bobby, about the difficulty of the Saints' schedule and this stretch of 4 games to close the season. This is their last home game of the regular season, so this is critical right now. You got the road win over College of Idaho, which was a huge win, and then you've got the opportunity now to win in front of your home fans before closing on the road against Montana Western and then Montana Tech over in Butte.
Yeah, everything right now for Carroll is based off of I-15 right through the heart of the state. And, you know, first things first, you got a battle right here in town, and you've created a little bit of a hole for yourself to dig out of as we watch Southern Oregon kick it deep for the second time today already.
This is Mims is going to take it over the 20. Bouncing off a tackle, still on his feet, falls forward to the 30-yard line. And a nice return. Nice return there by, it was Brody Collin on the return.
Yeah, Brody does a nice job getting that, and then, you know, kind of bounces in the middle, finds himself still on his feet and able to keep his head about him, puts that stiff arm into play and climbs out to about the 30-yard line. So Carroll a little bit further out, but the more important thing is they've been able to hold on to the ball here and give their offense a chance to get something rolling.
Well, we'll see what Jack Perka and this Saints offense can do now as they get this ball for the second time here in the first quarter. This time, Perka on play actions got a man out over the 40-yard line. A beautiful pass and catch and a first down for the Saints. Bringing that down is Lincoln Holmes, the redshirt freshman out of St. George, Utah.
Well, Perka's been great for his entire career in play action, and right there created a little space, able to get the ball out deep, a little bit deeper to Holmes. And Carroll marching here for the first time today.
This time, LaFerge gets the call, not much there. Back to the line of scrimmage. May have lost one on the play.
Yeah, Iona Purcell from his linebacker spot just coming through, and it took a little bit of time for the counter action to work right there, and those linemen couldn't pick up Purcell before he got to LaFerge's feet, bringing him down for a short loss. Brings up second long here for Carroll.
Perka averaging 250 yards a game through the air, and a huge game last week against the College of Idaho. He has had the hot hand for this Saints offense. So 2nd and 12 now from the 41. And LaFerge gets the call again, falls forward, and Southern Oregon, no, they say it's down by contact. My goodness, that could have been the third consecutive. O'Shea Miller
was
exactly
there for
right.
Those interior defensive tackles for Southern Oregon, very handsy, and O'Shea able to, on the way down, lucky that LaForge got his knee down on that before O'Shea Miller pried it out. Carroll does maintain possession here, brings up 3rd and long on their side of the field.
So 3rd and 10. And boy, this Saints offense has been shaky at best with the early turnovers. And staring at 3rd and long here. So Perka, here comes pressure off the edge. Steps up into the pocket. He'll be taken down for a loss on the play. And I think that was Adonis Jackson, their leading tackler, in on the stop.
Yeah, that defensive line got great push up front against this Carroll offensive line. And right there, Adonis Jackson, the beneficiary of a bunch of folks coming through. You see that active defensive front, and Adonis Jackson coming free right there and getting to Perka before he could get the ball out. So Carroll starts off hot right there, then cools off and forced to punt here for the Saints.
Yeah, he's the leader in tackles for loss, had 8.5 coming in, and now Klaus bobbles the ball, taken down at the 30-yard line. My goodness, what more could go wrong for the Saints team in quarter number 1?
And right now, as well as Southern Oregon has played to this point, Carroll is helping them out and making them look actually better than they are. And this is a tough team to come back from, even if you are at home. But Carroll shooting themselves in the foot yet again. 3rd turnover here for the Saints. Really, we haven't even got halfway through the first quarter. We're already looking at 3 turnovers for Carroll, and that's one thing you can't do regardless if you're at home or on the road against a good football team in Southern Oregon.
Well, the Saints have had their share of problems in the kicking game and shows itself again here. So Southern Oregon again with great field position. They start from the 30 And Yates is going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage, but still manages to fall forward for positive yards. It looked like that Carroll was going to get a stop behind the line of scrimmage, but Yates so tough to bring down.
Their left tackle, Braden Reed, just stayed engaged right there. As I saw the same thing you did. It looked like Garrett Warden was in position to make a play, but the running back, Yates, was able to keep his feet moving, just get behind that big body, keep his feet moving, and squirt through for a gain of 4.
2nd and 6 from the 26. Raiders looking to capitalize on the Carroll College turnover. This time, Asciutto steps into the pocket, now keeps the football and slides down at the 24. He'll pick up 2 on the play and brings up 3rd down.
Well, Asciutto was getting good protection right there. He didn't get a great depth on his drop, and as he stepped up in there, he very aware there. He stepped up past the line of scrimmage and decided to go down, but Carroll had their linebacker right there, Cameron Pruitt rather, was right in his face, did the smart thing, and just sat down, picked up a couple before he decided to take a seat. And so now Southern Oregon set up 3rd and 4, deep in Carroll territory.
3 receivers to the left, top of your screen on 3rd down. They need 4. Saints show blitz up the middle. Here they come. Yates, left side, bounces off tackles. He's got the 1st down and then some. So Gunnar Yates, good strong running down to the 17-yard line, and a 1st down for Southern Oregon.
Yeah, Southern Oregon is gigantic up front. 290 on that left side, and on the right side there go 320. So those big offensive tackles create just enough space, and Yates runs with patience, gets a 1st down.
You get a little screen out there in the left flat. And the Saints do a great job to shut that down and shut it down quickly. They flipped it out there to try to get some running room for Ted Wickman, their tight end.
And this tight ends for Southern Oregon use in a variety of ways. You see him on the screen pass there, but one of the things that Carroll does very, very well, especially at that 2nd level and into the secondaries, they run very, very well to the ball. You saw that right there on the flip to the screen pass as a secondary from Carroll just rallied for a short gain, bringing up 2nd long.
Give him 1 on the play, so 2nd and 9 from the 16. Yates bounces outside and takes a hit right at the line of scrimmage, and that was just a great tackle by Daxon Graham, who comes up from his defensive back position. Redshirt junior from Dillon, Montana, with a stop.
Yeah, Graham right there, able to maintain that edge right there. As you see him trying to bounce that outside, just takes the legs out from under him, coming up there, but you see that Carroll flow on defense, able to flow right behind Graham. So he was going to get caught, but Graham able to bring him down here and set the sticks at about 3rd and 7 here is Southern Oregon creeping ever so close to that end zone.
Another big play for this Carroll College defense. Now movement along the line, and a flag comes in. Southern Oregon signaling they think it's against Carroll College. Might have been a jump there up front.
Both sides pointing at each other. We're going to get it sorted out here shortly, though.
Offside, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Nothing going Carroll's way early here, Chris.
That's offside, so 5 yards, and that's going to bring up 3rd and short. So instead of 3rd and 7, it's going to be 3rd and 2, and the ball marked just inside the 10-yard line. Tough break. So turnovers, penalties, and now they're going to shift Yates back into the backfield.
Carroll needs a big play here to at least get the momentum going in their direction here at home today.
No question who's getting the football here. That's a 1st down. Bouncing to the outside. And that's going to be enough to move the chains as Braden Orlandi gets the tackle, but not before Yates picks up the 1st down.
Well, as I said, I've been very impressed with the way that this offensive line just gets a hat on a hat. And right there, it may have been a stalemate, but that's enough for a back like Yates just to create a little bit of space for himself and run into maybe a Carroll defender, but not until he gets 2 to 3 yards. I guess they're going to give him 4th down. He didn't get the first down on that one. So big 4th down play early here for Southern Oregon.
4th and a short 1. It looked like he did have more than enough for the first down, but they do mark him just short. So we'll see if they go right back to him again. Interesting call there. They try to draw the Saints offside and then take a timeout.
Well, it worked early in a different situation, but Carroll able to hold their water there. So decision here, as we hear from our referee again, Scott McHugh there, making a call. He's our white hat today. So Southern Oregon going to make a decision.
All right, so 3:33 to play here in the opening quarter. 4th and 1 for the Raiders. Inside Carroll territory when we come back. Southern Oregon team, and now they bring on the field goal unit. Batrus will kick this from the 15, so a 25-yard field goal attempt. Batrus 6 of 7 coming in. He's already missed one today. This one on the way has plenty of leg, and it's good. So the Saints down 10-0, but honestly, Bobby, when you look at what's happened to them with all the turnovers and the starting field position of Southern Oregon, 10-0 is not bad.
Well, they've tried to make themselves in worse position, but they continued to, dig this hole for them, whether it's a turnover on the kickoff, a turnover on downs essentially, and then the fumbled snap on the punt. It hasn't been good if you're wearing purple today, and this is a home game, so there's a lot of people sitting on their hands, not only for warmth, but they're not real happy with the progress that they've seen thus far from their Carroll College Fighting Saints.
Well, no question. You come in as the visiting road team, and you keep the crowd quiet, and that's the way you do it. And so it's been all Southern Oregon in this one so far, but 10-0. Could be a lot worse, could be 21-0.
Yeah, that's a glass half full type of way of looking at it if you're Carroll, I guess. But, at this point, they got to get something positive out of whether it's the kicking game. They got to find something on offense. They've got one play with positive yardage so far out of the passing game. So kicking it off here, looking for something good for happen if you're wearing in purple today.
Brody call again. Takes it up over the 20-yard line to about the 23, and that's where the Saints will go back to work on offense.
And Southern Oregon doesn't make it easy for you. As good as we say that both teams are on offense up front, Southern Oregon runs very, very well defensively, which does make it difficult for this offense to get something going. This is a championship football team. They're built that way.
So Perka and the Saints try to get something put together here. First down. Time winding down the first quarter. They'll stay on the ground. LaFerge with a nice run to the 30, to the 35, and pushed out of bounds. Good hard running by Archie LaFerge, and LaFerge gives the Saints a first down.
Yeah, just a little cutback in the inside zone right there. Able to use the stiff arm. They bring one guy right there, puts a stiff arm right into the chest of the defender and gets run out of bounds there.
Perka goes right back to LaFerge in the flat, who makes a nice move up over the 40 and another good gain.
So LaFerge is doing it both ways, just handing him the ball and then pitching him back out. Keeps his feet as the defender was down at his feet. Takes it, cuts it upfield. 2 plays, 2 first downs. Archer LaFerge, maturing before our eyes.
Hurry up offense for Perka and the Saints, and all shovel pass inside, and that's going nowhere as they shoveled it inside to the tight end, Carson Ochoa, but he's taken down immediately.
Well, with the injuries at running back, they're finding different ways to get the running game to be more of a factor right there. Is you don't normally flip the ball to your tight end outside of Kansas City, but Ochoa right there, brought down immediately. The Southern Oregon defense wasn't fooled.
Second down, now they do a little end around. Askelchin to the midfield and puts his head down and gets 4 more yards to the 46-yard line of Southern Oregon.
Yeah, getting creative again with that running game just to try to keep this defense honest so that they're not moving things out. And Akulchin's been an effective runner with the ball, as he showed right there. Brings up 3rd and short here for Carroll College. Checking the play at the line of scrimmage, trying to get in the right set. The quarterback does a lot of this as well. He'll get him set up and ready to roll.
They need 2. Perka. That's a nice first down gain. Nothing special there, as he just took the ball, put his head down, and got to the 40-yard line and moved the sticks.
And LaForge does a nice job as a blocker in that case, just with the quarterback with the lead blocker right there, able to get 5 or 6 yards on that, and most importantly, another set of downs for this Carroll offense, trying to keep that defense of theirs on the field, get some rest.
Inside Southern Oregon territory for the first time. Perka drops, looks, and now he's going to be wrapped up and taken down at the 48-yard line. And again, that Southern Oregon defense, that time it was Gabe Foster, the junior from Gardnerville, Nevada, comes in for the sack.
Yeah, just beating the left tackle, Devine, off the edge right there with speed. Perka tried to step up into the protected area, but Foster kept after it and didn't get him down initially, but then just kept grappling and grappling and grappling. Takedown equals 2, -7 yards, brings up 2nd and 17 here for that Carroll offense.
Big defensive play there for the Raiders. We talk a lot about their offense, but that defense is good as well. Here's Perka, fires across the middle's got a man at the 45, breaking tackles and inside the 40 to the 39, and Ochoa makes a nice run after the catch.
Yeah, this tight end, big number 82, Carson Ochoa, become a big offensive target and a weapon for this Carroll offense. He does a nice job right there, just coming out, bleeding across the middle a little bit late, and Perka knows where to find his big safety blanket. Brings up 3rd and manageable here for this guys dressed in purple.
They need 9 for the first down, and that will be the final play of the first quarter. So Southern Oregon benefiting from turnovers, has a 10-0 lead after 1 here at Nelson Stadium in Helena, on top of the home standing Fighting Saints from Carroll College. But Carroll in Southern Oregon territory when we come back to start quarter number 2. Let's go down to Jack Marshall.
Thanks, Chris. Just one thing to look at as Carroll's in no man's land right now is the punt unit. They've already had, coming to this game, at least 4 punts blocked this year. So they switched punters from Spencer Berger to Nick Klaus, Carroll College did. And then today, Klaus fumbled that snap and had issues with it. So really just been a terrible year for the punt unit for Carroll. We'll see who comes out to punt next time they have to. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Jack. So 3rd and 9 for the Saints. Ball at the 40. Perka drops back, tries to set up a screen over the middle, and this is intercepted. Intercepted at the 38-yard line, and the problems continue for Carroll College. Coming down with it on is Ty Gumblick, the linebacker.
Well, Gumblick just a beneficiary of being in the right spot at the right time, but there was a defensive lineman that tipped that ball right out of the gate as you saw him try to get back even further, setting up that screen pass. And Gumblick able to have the wherewithal, as we see it coming right here on the Great Falls Realty replay, trying to step back, and that's big number 5.
Yeah, get an assist to number 5 on that one, Gabe Foster.
And so Foster, who we've called a couple of different times, right there just putting his hands up, an awareness play by Foster, tips the ball to Gumblick. And Southern Oregon, no reason for a punt team there as the interception allows, another turnover allows this offense favorable field position again.
Shuda with the throw out close to midfield. As a pass and a catch. A nice gain on 1st down as they get it out there to Sawyer Cleveland.
And Cleveland, that's a 6'6", 215-pound wide receiver, so targets like that, I mean, it doesn't matter how you throw it, just put it in the vicinity of your area code, and somebody that's that big with a catching radius, he's going to make a lot of catches for you, and this wide receiver group, save 1 or 2 slot receivers, they're big. They're just big.
Cleveland is their leading receiver, 38 catches coming into this game. Already has a couple today. And they go right back to him at the 45. Gain up over midfield at inside Carroll College territory. So they go right back to Cleveland. And you mentioned it, he's got some size. And Cleveland, the senior from Corvallis, Oregon.
Yeah, he's a Beaver by proximity right there, but you saw the big tight end Jackson Clemmer, number 6. He was on the line of scrimmage. He was not an eligible receiver, so they were going to run the screen regardless. Out here they had a couple of different options to go with as you saw them fake it to Yates, kick it out on the screen play there, and pick up the 1st down in Carroll territory now as Southern Oregon starts to drive.
So here we go, 1st down from the 47. Yates, right side, spins out of tackles down to the 41-yard line. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, Carroll brought some pressure from the safety. He was around Yates' ankles. He kicks through the trash at the line of scrimmage and pushes through for a nice gain. As you see it right here, coming right into your wheelhouse until he's brought down there, but not before he was deep into Carroll secondary.
Well, what's so impressive when you watch him run, and of course the numbers bear it out, is he does not go down on that 1st tackle.
No, he's got great patience, and then he shows a burst when he sees the seam, and he's exploited it here to this point today in Helena.
2nd and 4 from the 41. Shuda now fires across the middle, and that one is incomplete. Good coverage that time as Braden Orlandi was back there in coverage, just got his hands in the way of the football. Incomplete pass.
Well, they had the deep guy covered, and then they had Cleveland coming underneath. Good pressure up front by Carroll, forced the ball out from Ashudo just a little bit earlier. But there was a Carroll guy that was in great position in underneath coverage right there. But Ashudo under a little bit of pressure from this defensive line who's been out on the field quite a bit this early, just 2 minutes into the 2nd quarter, as Southern Oregon continues to drive.
So 3rd and 4. Ashudo, pressure up the middle, and Yates takes it close to the 1st down. They'll see where they mark it. It's going to be close. Looks like it's going to be about a yard short.
Garrett Warden from his defensive tackle spot able to get Yates, but got him around the feet. Brings him up just short, so it's 4th down. And Southern Oregon keeps the offense out there.
Yeah, they bring in another tight end. Ryan Pelton checks in. And sir, they're going to go big package here and see if they can't convert. The ball's at the 38. This Saints defense has been tested since the opening kickoff, and here we go again. So all the big guys are in. Yates straight up the middle, has a first down and a whole lot more as he takes it down to the 32. He needed 1 and got 6.
Yeah, they had a bunch of guys. They brought in a fullback, put the fullback in motion, brought a couple of tight ends in there, and just handed it to Yates to put a hat on a hat. And it wasn't until Braden Orlandi gets in there to stop him. Yates gets out past the 35, about to the 33-yard line, and the Southern Oregon offense continues to drive.
Now this Carroll defense could be gassed at the end of the half as much as they've been on the field today.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's been all Southern Oregon. Clock continues to run as we wind down to the 12-minute mark of the second quarter. Ashudo. The give is to Yates, and this time wrapped up and taken down, and that's just a great defensive play by Carroll College. That was Forrest Suero, the junior from Helena, makes a great tackle.
Suero does a great job keeping pressure into that offensive lineman. Gap side arm free right there. And then allows, I think that was Julio, to come down and clean it up there at the end. And so now with a little bit of defensive success right there, let's see how this Carroll defense responds. More importantly, for Southern Oregon, finding a way to have some success in a sustained drive as this is their longest drive of the day, as they had the ball finally on their side of the field.
Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14 from the 37. Ashudo looks right, is hit right as he tries to throw the ball. And that was a great play defensively. Coming in from the backside was Henry Gross.
And Gross, he just comes free right there. And Gross, a couple weeks ago, was the NAI Player of the Week. And the young man from here in Helena, we're going to talk to his father at halftime. But Henry able to lay the hat right there, and that ball, they're going to just call that an incomplete pass as that went straight up in the air. And so,
close.
So it was very close. Initially, I thought that was just going to go laterally, but him backing up and where that ball landed, they give it forward progress. Incomplete pass brings up 13 here for the Raiders.
So the Saints defense stiffens up here, 3rd and 14. Now they shift Yates out of the backfield and throw back the other way, and boy, that had no chance at all as he just simply threw the ball into the turf, and it's 4th down.
Carroll showed blitz out everybody in the gaps right there, and as they backed out, they went into a zone, but Forrest Suero came free and was right in Ashudo's lap as he went to let that one go, forcing Southern Oregon here to bring on the punt team.
So a great job by the Saints defensively to force the punt. Colton Samus back to kick. He'll stand at the 48-yard line. First punt of the afternoon. This one is going to hit. Oh, boy, what a nice punt. And that ball is down inside the 10 at the 5-yard line. So the Saints defensively do a great job and force the punt. That said, Carroll College deep in their own end. They'll start from the 5 when we come back. 10-0 as we get a look at Raiders head coach Burke Brown now in his second season. In his first season, 6-4, he's a guy that played for the Raiders.
Yep.
And stayed with the program, came back, was the defensive coordinator when they won their only national championship in 2014, and then left, went to high school, came back, and now has this team playing good
Back
football.
on the right track,
oh,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Talking to him before the game, he was looking forward to this one, trying to answer that age-old question, if you live in Ashland, how do you win in Montana? So far, he seems to have found the right formula.
Jack Marshall, we're gonna jump down to him, who took a moment from doing jumping jacks to stay warm to join us on the field. Jack.
Yeah, I'm staying warm down here, boys, and obviously a lot of history in the Frontier. Carroll versus Southern Oregon. Carroll has won their last 4 games against SOU. The last time SOU won was when Jack Perka made his first career start over in Ashland his freshman year.
Well, if they're going to have any shot today, Jack, they're going to have to figure out how to stop Gabe Foster as he hits LaForge almost before he gets the ball, drives him back. So what started as bad field position got even worse as Gabe Foster just charges right up the middle and introduces himself to LaForge yet again. They might be best friends if they can't figure out how to block number 5.
Foster comes into this game with 7 tackles for loss and 3 sacks on the season. That's third best on the team. So second down, and again, Saints just looking for a little bit of running room, and they picked up a couple there as LaForge gets it up to, well, we'll call it the 4-yard line. So,
yes, Aida Porter and O'Shea Miller. One of the things I did, when you're sitting down here and you're going through their roster, Southern Oregon has some great football names. It doesn't just start with the running back, Gunnar Yates. That's a great one to call. But there's a couple of names. Hopefully we get to them today. There's some great football names at that Southern Oregon roster.
Better than hog bellies, as you like to call the big fella. Oh, I'm sorry. Perka gets hit, and well, I don't know what they're going to call here. Hit right as he was trying to throw the ball.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion as we see. I mean, we've already talked to him. Gabe Foster was one of the guys pressuring Perk as he's trying to throw that from his end zone, trying to do the double move on the secondary. They didn't have enough time with the pressure from Southern Oregon, and so here we go again with the exercise that is known as the punt team for Carroll College.
Well, you're holding your breath now if you're Carroll, because they have had all kinds of kicking woes, as Jack told us a little bit earlier. And here's Nick Klaus, who's already had one muffed attempt. He does get this one away, and it's going to come down and hit around the 32 and down to the 35. So once again, another short field for Southern Oregon as they get the football with 9:27 to play in the first half. Raiders with the lead and the football when we come back. Southern Oregon, as they will start this drive at the Carroll 35, already leading 10-0 here at Nelson Stadium in Helena. on an overcast afternoon, but you know what? It's good football weather.
Yeah, it's not snowing yet. We finally got some fall. You and I have been in short sleeves up until this point, and today we're inside, so I got no complaints about the weather.
Not at all. So first down here, and Ashudo leads the Raider offense back out onto the field. Gunnar Yates, better than advertised so far. The 1,000-yard rusher really has taken control of this game for the Raiders offense. Carroll, give them credit. Their defense has been backed up all day, and so far just 10 points to show for Southern Oregon. And Yates will dance around, and a good open field tackle that time as he shuts down a short run.
That's Julio from his linebacker spot. I mean, they just had 3 down linemen, and they were just eating up blocks right there. Julio with the free runner able to bring down Yates. And, you know, you and I were talking at the break, as dominant as Southern Oregon's been to this point, they're only up 10 points, which isn't an unmanageable, number to come back from. But you got to get something positive going if you're this Carroll College team, and I think it's going to have to start on defense. They're going to need to make a big play here.
Gain of 2 by Yates, so 2nd and 8 from the 33. Ashudo with play action, now rolls out of trouble. Fires across the middle, and that is caught, and it's going to be a first down catch and a nice play. They go to the big tight end again, Ted Wickman, and Wickman takes it all the way down to the 16-yard line and a first down for Southern Oregon.
And Carroll brought pressure right up the middle. They showed 3-man pressure, and he got pressure right up there. He's flush. There's another Carroll guy right there, so he just flips it down the field. And we talked about the size of the receivers and tight ends. Wickman, another big receiver, as we watch. Yates brought down in the backfield by number 9. For
nothing doing there.
Carroll is Garrett Warden coming up for a big play. But these receivers and tight ends for Southern Oregon are a problem with their size, as Wickman goes 6'4". We talked about Cleveland. He's 6'6". So that size, that's a definite advantage that you kind of tip the scales in the side of Southern Oregon. As Ashudo, we saw him on that pass play. He just chucked and ducked it, and one of those big-handed, big-bodied receiver tight ends just plucked it out of the air.
You know, this is a team that averages 47 points a game, Southern Oregon, and nearly 500 yards of total offense. So let's see what they do here now. On 2nd down, they need 10. No gain on that last play. Ashudo now sets up the screen. They come back to Yates the other way. He's at the 10, the 5, inside touchdown, Southern Oregon. So Yates with the catch, and from 15 yards out makes it look pretty easy, and they're back on the board again.
Boy, he's got great vision,
yeah, he
Chris.
does.
They did a great job of setting this up as Carroll brought pressure right on a screen down right there. But if we get to watch this as we watch the dancing going on, looks like you last night, just shaking it up there, having some fun with it there. But he's got great vision on the screen right there. Caught the ball with his hands, and then he had a couple of blockers out front. Didn't run past him, run with some patience, and found his way into the checkerboarded end zone. So we were talking about how Carroll was keeping it close. Gunnar Yates able to spread it out just a little bit further.
Batrasan for the extra point, and he's got it. 7:23 to play, halfway through quarter number 2, and the Raiders extend the lead to 17-0 over Carroll College, and it's been domination by the Raiders, the inability to stop their running game, which has been so solid, but it's hard enough to stop this team when they come in averaging nearly 50 points a game, but when you're giving them field position on their side of the field almost every time, too easy.
Yeah, you saw the vision right there as he showed patience for the blockers to develop and then establish where they were going to position themselves. And then they're just having a little bit of fun with it as the coach even gets in on it.
Hey,
tell you what, that must be a part of practice. As at Carroll, I mean, Carroll College right now really doesn't have any answers. As well as their defense has played to keep it to 17 points. We're talking about 3 turnovers and some questionable, special teams play. Just to keep it close, their defense has had to, really rise to the occasion as we get to watch another special teams play here as Southern Oregon kicking it off deep. But Carroll's got to find a little momentum and stuff this, or at least keep this ball going in their defense or offensively for them. Perka's got to find some of that magic he's developed over the course of the season.
Call, brings it out, it's got some room, falls forward to the 35. Boy, he was close to breaking a big one off right there.
Well, good job by him. He got a lot of space right there and just ran the ball out. Good field position for this offense. They're not pinned like they were last possession. So Perka got to find some magic here on the sideline, carry it out. So there's this Carroll College offense at least gets a couple of first downs and get that defense a little bit of rest because they've been on the field quite a bit here early.
Well, you get the feeling already in this game, Bobby, real honestly, Carroll College needs to do something with the football and come away with some points.
They've got to get something, put it on the board, close the gap a little bit as we inch closer to halftime. Got to create that shift in momentum. Give himself a chance at home today on senior day.
Oh, all kinds of pressure applied on Perka, but he manages somehow to get that thing away, and what looked like might have been a loss on the play is positive yards. Carson Ochoa with the reception.
Gabe Foster's all over Jack Perka on that one. It took some time with the play action game there, and Perka kept his head about him, able to get it out to Ochoa. Positive yards on first down to the tight end, the big tight end. One of those security blankets for your quarterback, and Ochoa brings it out over the 40, about 2nd and 4 here.
Second down. Alkelchin looked like he was going to get the ball on the sweep, but they did the inside handoff.
Archie LaFerge
close to a first down.
To, carry the ball positively there. The little eye candy with Askelson on the jet sweep there, and
got it to the 44, so they'll be a yard short of the first down. So 3rd and 1 from the 44. Saints need to keep the football and put a drive together here, trailing by 17.
Brought in another tight end here.
Got a tight end in the backfield as they bring in Ryan Rickman. Well, play action for Perka. Avoids the tackle. Now has
got a guy too.
He's wide open, and that's going to be a first down as Rickman slips out of the backfield, makes the catch, and a huge gain.
Well, Perka right there under all sorts of pressure. Fake, little play action fake right there. Took a shot, but not before he delivered a strike to Rickman down the field. The fullback right there able to escape, and in the open field, Perka delivers a shot. Little momentum. Biggest play to this point for this Carroll offense.
Much needed first down there for
play action. And now you're seeing in the Great Falls Realty replay as he just threw this one up as he took a shot and stayed in there. Big play for Carroll College to get the first down in Southern Oregon territory.
So the Saints in the red zone. LaFerge picks up 4 on the play. Down to the 15. Saints on the season 26 of 31 in the red zone with 21 touchdowns. So the Saints pretty good inside the 20. He got 5 on the play, 2nd and 5 from the 15. Perka pulls it down, rolls right. Oh, he's got a man wide open at the 15, inside the 10, close to the 5-yard line, and that's their tight end, Ochoa, again with a huge catch and a first down. Sets up 1st and goal from the 6 for the Saints.
Well, Ochoa coming up big as he has all season for Perka, but this Carroll run game, doesn't matter who's in the backfield there, you got to respect it and able to create some space for Ochoa to get the first down as they hand it off to LaFerge inside. Not much going there as he picks up a couple of inches closer to the goal line.
Give him 1, maybe 2 on the play, just inside the 5, 2nd and goal. LaFerge, as we talked about, in relief now as that Saints running game. Injuries have taken their toll this season, but LaFerge with some good hard running this afternoon, and they do give him 2, so 2nd and goal. And again, they go to LaFerge, who's met right at the line of scrimmage and driven back. They're going to mark it at the 3, so he'll get 1. Brings up 3rd down. So, Bobby, what do you do here? I mean, are you in 4-down territory, or if you don't convert here, do you kick the field goal and take the points?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd worry about 3rd down right now. You've got to create something here. I'd almost go for it on 4th down. But right now, with 3rd down coming in, bringing in a wide receiver, taking out the fullback, I'd say something in play action right down in here inside tight. Perka's done a great job all year. We've actually seen him use his feet here. I wouldn't be afraid to do a little bit of quarterback lead, get him and use his feet here as this offensive line is established. But they're going to talk about it a little bit more. Regardless of what you and I think, they want to discuss it some.
Yeah, I saw what Southern Oregon was showing defensively and took a timeout. So they'll talk it over. 3:41 to go in the second quarter. Huge play on 3rd and 3.
Chris, I like Perka as a runner. He does a lot of stuff. He's had to, right? He doesn't know who his running back's going to be week to week. And we saw him earlier with the quarterback lead. He's done a great job in play action pass. He can move the ball with his feet a little bit. So I'd put the ball in his hands with a little play action, get him out on the edge. If he can, run it down in there. And he's shown to be a very accurate passer as he's led the nation in quarterback efficiency for some time. And he's very good with the ball. He's not going to put it in any danger.
Well, we talked about the Southern Oregon red zone offense, and the Carroll College red zone offense pretty good too. 26 of 31 with 21 of those touchdowns. And this is a team that's averaging 32 a game, giving up just 14. So the Saints looking for their first points of the afternoon, down 17 late in the second quarter.
Bringing
Absolute
out the fullback.
must.
Bringing out a couple tight ends and a fullback.
Ochoa's out there.
Oh, they brought in a defensive lineman, power running formation right here.
Rickman's out there. Full house backfield. Here we go. And Perka pulls it down, end zone, and that is caught for the touchdown.
That's Ochoa.
Ochoa in the back of the end zone had his jersey ripped down, but still managed to hang on to the football.
Brought in all those big bodies. Trust your senior quarterback to deliver a strike only where his guy's going to catch that, put it up high, and Ochoa knows what to do with it. But that senior quarterback, all those snaps, all those plays all year, does exactly what the coach needs him to do, puts it in the end zone. And Ochoa, the big sure-handed tight end, puts the first points for Carroll on the board.
Huge touchdown for the Saints. And the extra point is on the way, and it is good. So the touchdown pass from Perka to Ochoa, the extra point tacked on, and it's now a 17-7 game as Carroll scores late in the second quarter. And to say that was a must-score opportunity from Carroll, pretty much an understatement. This was a nice drive.
They needed that. Not only did they need that just to put points on the board, but to at least stop and keep this Southern Oregon offense on the sideline. As you see Ochoa pulling it in right there, is early on here, you see him under pressure, just flipping it all the way out there, and Rickman able to reach out with it. Big play right there to keep that drive going. And then right here, Perka doing looking for Ochoa out on the edge to move the sticks there to keep the drive alive. And then the big full house backfield shows the ball to everybody and then finds Ochoa, who wasn't wide open right there, and Perka showing the accuracy, and Ochoa showing sure hands out there on the edge. As the Great Falls Realty replay lets us recap that for you coming into your household as we watch Ochoa bring down the first points for the guys in purple today as they inch a little bit closer and kind of stop the pressure, or stop the bleeding for them. That's kind of this entire first half thus far. We've talked a ton about the mistakes that Carroll's made, not so much on that drive, as they inch a little bit closer to the lead that Southern Oregon's have been able to establish thus far.
Really using their tight ends well. And this is a very short kick that is returnable. Lamar breaks tackles up over the 35, hit and taken down, but not before he gets to the 40-yard line. And again, Southern Oregon's got great field position from the 40, still 3:29 to play in quarter number 2.
Well, the short kick allowed the blockers to establish right there. And you watch the return game for Southern Oregon just take off with it, and they're right back where they've started for a lot of times, out past the 40, ready to go in here with about 3:30 left here in the second quarter.
Well, we talked about the job that Burke Brown has done as the head coach of Southern Oregon. Had that national championship in 2014, went back to play for the national title a year later, didn't get it. So they came into the Frontier with a bang, but have been pretty quiet. Oh, and a big hit at the 45-yard line. And what a shutdown play that was by Orlandi. I don't think the ball was catchable, but upended the wide receiver.
Well, right there, Orlandi coming downhill there, looking for the wide receiver deep there. And ball was a little bit high, and Orlandi went low and provides the acrobatic action afterwards.
Dawson Douglas was the intended receiver. He got hit right in the bottom part of the leg, and now he's down. Started off the field and then went down at the 44-yard line. So we've got an injury timeout on the field as they'll attend to him. That was a pretty big shot. Again, I don't know if the ball was catchable, but Orlandi was there for the big hit.
Well, Orlandi was, he would have had to tackle him right there, but, a little bit of play action, and you saw the linebackers, respecting Yates' ability with the ball, creating the space.
Well, Bobby, you went over the middle a time or two as a wide receiver for Western Montana, and those are the ones where, do you know when you're doing the crosser that you're going to probably get hit?
Yeah, to be honest with you, there's a number of times where you don't remember it. I can't recall a time right now. I'm sure that it happened, but those aren't the ones you actually remember. I don't remember much because I probably went over the middle too much, right? But
you remember the touchdowns,
big
right?
shots like that, you have to have some guts to do that, and then you have to rely on your quarterback to give you a catchable ball. As Ashudo, that wasn't a catchable ball. Nonetheless, the young man went up for it, didn't come down with it, and here we are with 2nd down.
2nd and 10. Blitz straight up the middle. Oh, they read it, and it's picked off and going back the other way. Back the other way, Caden Hansen. And he takes it inside the 20, and a huge turnover. The Saints now look to capitalize late in the 2nd quarter.
Well, Ashudo goes with the play action right there, had a little bit of time and stepped into that one. Ball was woefully behind them, behind the wide receiver, but Hansen was right there in the spot and hit him right there. Nobody was more surprised in the stadium than Hansen as he was able to hold on, and then there was nobody in front of him with it, and he was just right down the field. As you watch Ashudo step into that one, throws it behind the intended receiver, and Hansen, great play there by a defensive back, catching the ball right in his hands and able to do something with it as this Carroll team gets the ball in the end zone. Momentum's changed here as Carroll College has great field position driving down into Southern Oregon territory.
Back in the red zone again. They go back the other way to Uckelchin, who makes the catch and takes it to the 15, so picks up a couple on the play.
Uckelchin comes underneath the formation, back behind the formation, comes wide open as you watch him. That's him coming right behind the line of scrimmage, has to do a little bit of, excuse me, sir. He finds a little space, and Perka able to get the ball into his hands. Only a gain of 2 on the play action play, but positive yardage for Carroll.
Uckelchin, redshirt junior from Gig Harbor,
We've said his name like
Washington.
6 different ways.
Yeah.
It's a Uckelchin. Uckelchin. There's a couple different ways you could say it, but there's the proper way. We'll get it eventually.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Oh, backside pressure. Ball on the ground. It's a fumble. What a hit.
Adonis Jackson
again, and the Raiders come away with it.
Off the left side, beat Andrew Devine again around the edge. Just the speed and quickness of those defensive ends. Adonis Jackson and Gabe Foster have wreaked havoc in the backfield at Carroll College. It's been tough going right there for those tackles for Carroll College, and another turnover here allows Southern Oregon to kind of stop the bleeding from their turnover as they get the ball again up right about the 20-yard line. So Carroll not able to come away with anything on that turnover, gives the ball right back to Uckelchin in his charges. Ashudo, excuse me.
Ashudo now comes out with 2:41 to play in the half.
Just saying names.
Lead is 10, and they go to Yates. And Yates with a nice gain and a good open field tackle by Elijah Larson from his defensive back position makes the open field tackle.
You're going to get a lot of zone coverage when you get a running back like Yates, and Larson was dropped back into his deep third right there and able to come up there on the edges. Yates continued to bounce that ball outside, but only a gain of 2. There was a lot of action. He got the ball deep, but Larson able to come up and fill on the edge for Carroll College.
So the Raiders more than willing to let the clock run down here.
A little more patience,
Yeah.
get to the 2-minute timeout.
And there it is. So that brings us to 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 2nd and 8 for Southern Oregon when we come back. Leading Carroll by 10 here in Helena. 2nd and 8 from the 24. Saints do have 2 timeouts remaining, so if they choose to, could try to get the football back. And Yates, straight ahead run all the way up to the 34-yard line, and that's a first down for the Raiders.
Yeah, Julio from his linebacker spot able to get him there, but not before he gets good yardage right up the gut or through the heart of that defense. As you watch it here on the Great Falls Realty replay, Suero there trying to reach out an arm to try to stop him, but Yates doesn't come down with arm tackles, gets another first down.
And they're hurry up here. Ashuto rolls right, and that is caught. Do they say they give him the catch? No.
No, one of the smaller versions of their wide receivers is Raiden Kenishiro, unable to come out with that one. Kenishiro, the only guy really, they've got those 2 slot receivers, but he's the only guy under 6 foot to touch the ball today for this Southern Oregon offense.
Second on the team in receptions with 13 coming in behind Sawyer Cleveland. Incomplete pass. Brings up 2nd and 10, ball at the 34, 1:37 to go here in the first half. Comes pressure off the edge. Yates runs up inside, and that time met at the line of scrimmage and brought down. Nothing doing on that play.
That's Suero again from his defensive line spot. These defensive linemen for Carroll, very active and athletic up front, allow those linebackers to run free. We talked about the activity of the Southern Oregon defensive line. Those guys at Carroll, they eat a lot of blocks up right there, and right there Suero engaged with 2 guys right there, able to reach out his hands and brings down Yates for a loss, so brings up 3rd and long for Southern Oregon.
3rd and 11, and now just inside a minute to play in the first half. Saints opt not to use the timeout here. Play clock down inside of 5. And Ashuto gives to Yates, who steps up inside and takes it up all the way to the 40-yard line before he's taken down by Cameron Pruitt from his linebacker spot.
And Carroll's defense, not one hand on the ground right there. They were all just kind of roaming around. Makes it hard for the offensive line to count who's going to be coming and who's not. And they brought their 3-guy 4-man pressure, and then Cameron Pruitt right in pursuit right there, able to bring down Yates before he could get the first down. So 4th down here for Southern Oregon as a timeout's been taken.
So 41 seconds to play in the second quarter. And it'll be 3rd, 4th, and 4 from the 40. Of course, coming up, the Bootlegger halftime show. Stats, highlights.
We've got Carroll College's athletic director, Charlie Gross. Charlie's son is playing today. Number 39, Henry, who was the NAIA Player of the Week earlier this season. Proud dad's running the show here at Carroll, and Henry's doing his thing today on Saturday, so we get a couple of things to talk to Charlie about here at halftime.
Absolutely. So they will punt it away from the 25-yard line. Oh, big pressure up the middle. Punt is in a way. Fair catch signaled for and taken at the 31. So the Saints get the football back. Connor Sullivan with the fair catch.
That's big, Chris. You got to point this out, and I did. That's probably why I don't remember things, is because I returned punts and got hit a lot, right? But it was a long time ago, and those things are fuzzy regardless. But as a punt returner, it's huge to catch that ball so there's no leaky yardage. You save clock for your offense to do something with it after you catch it close to the half. But that leaky yardage afterwards puts them at the 31-yard line. That thing bounces down to the, all the way down to the 15. Much different play call for your offensive coordinator. For Sullivan, doing the smart thing there as a returner, fair catch, set up your offense in decent field position before you go in at the half.
And Southern Oregon will use their final timeout of the half. And with Carroll having so much trouble with turnovers and protecting the football, I mean, at this point, a long way to go from the 31. You just run the ball into the middle of the line and go into the locker room. Trailing 17-7 could be a lot worse.
Well, if you're their offense, you're trying to find something positive to take into half, right? So that the adjustments you make, you can kind of work with, because they're not going to get the ball I mean, remember, they got kicked off to turn the ball over, so they're kicking it off to Southern Oregon coming out of halftime. So this is one of those things where you're trying to get down and put yourself in position to maybe get 3 points. Their field goal kicker, Berger, has been very good to this point. So trying to put yourself into a position where maybe you can get a try at a long field goal, because their troubles in special teams haven't come in the field goal or PAT units. Their coverage unit on punt and kickoff, that's where we've seen some leaky issues that they're going to have to fix.
Berger 6 of 7 kicking field goals this year with a long of 44, and Perk is going to throw. Now looks, checks down to LaFerge at the 35-yard line. Just a gain of 3 on the play.
Good coverage downfield by this Southern Oregon defense.
Clock continues to wind down. Inside 20 seconds to play. Hurry up offense. And Perka looks, now fires out here. Achulkin with the catch inside the 40.
Achulkin's done a great job. He's become his go-to guy right there. Good lot of length with that young man out of Townsend, Montana, able to haul that thing in just past the 40-yard line down to the 37. So Carroll's got a little life as they hit their big receiver down there, got a little space, and I do believe they've got a timeout left so they can get a short gain. 12 seconds left, one play here, maybe take a shot or just put themselves in position to get Berger's foot on the ball, give himself a chance to cut into this lead going into half.
Achulkin with a big catch there, leading the team in receptions with 30 coming in. First down from the 37. As you said, still a timeout remaining. Perka has a man sitting down right at the 25-yard line, and that's going to be a catch, but more important, that's going to put Berger within field goal range, and a great catch by Lincoln Holmes.
Holmes, way to just sit down in a spot right there. Is that Holmes or is that Barthel? Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. You're right. It was Holmes. Regardless, great ability to sit right down there in the hole. And he had LaForge right there in the middle of the field and Holmes sitting right there as well. So Perka, the senior quarterback, being very efficient with it and more importantly accurate with it, giving their kicker a chance here, Berger, before they go into the half.
Well, what a great use of the clock here on the final 40 seconds to get themselves in position to add points before the half. They're down just inside the 25. So the field goal attempt is going to be from about 42 yards, and that's well within the range of Berger, who has a 44-yarder to his credit this season.
And the senior quarterback doing exactly what you expect, not panicking under pressure or forcing the ball into a tight spot. Accurate with his throws, giving his receivers a chance to get out of bounds, not using all of his timeouts just to move the ball. He's got a chance here for 3 points. Berger putting it through the Billings West product here at Carroll College, having a good career so far. See what he can throw off his foot here through the posts for the Saints.
Spotted the ball from... Oh, and this one is blocked. This one is blocked, so Berger unable to come away with it. And that's going to take us to the end of the first half. So another big play by Southern Oregon special teams playing a factor in this one. We've played one half of football here at Nelson Stadium. 17-7 our score in favor of the visitors. Southern Oregon ranked 8th in the country. Stay with us. The Bootlegger Halftime Report is next. Bar and Casino in Great Falls. The Bootlegger Bar and Casino, the place to place your bet. We are at halftime here at Nelson Stadium in Helena with Southern Oregon ranked 8th in the country, leading the Saints of Carroll College 17-7 is our halftime score. Now joined by Carroll Athletic Director Charlie Gross. And Charlie, could be worse on the scoreboard. A lot of miscues for this Saints team in the first half, but still very much in it.
Yeah, I guess the glass is half full there when you look at it. With the number of turnovers and the field position, Carroll's very fortunate to be in this position right now. There's a whole second half here, and we'll see what can happen.
Well, that positivity it's just flowing to my way. Way to make this sandwich taste a little bit better. But hey, Charlie, as the athletic director here at Carroll College, I know that you're balancing the father thing with Henry down on the field, but your life doesn't get any easier right now. Tell us a little bit about how you're balancing the winter sports and what's going on, and how you're balancing the time frame with the usage of your gym right now.
Well, this is a very busy time of the year. The last couple weeks of October and early November, when you've got both winter and fall sports going, and we like to host things. We're very proud of our facilities. We feel we host things well, and so yeah, this has really been a busy weekend. We've had tonight we're going to have some basketball games after the football game. Yesterday we had 2 basketball games and a volleyball game, and tomorrow we've got 2 soccer games on the docket, and more basketball on Monday night. But it's great to be able to play games at home. We've got great fan support. Our community engages with us well. So when given the opportunity, we're going to try to host events at home.
So it's safe to say you won't be at home on the couch watching NFL football tomorrow. You're more than likely going to be right back here. And when you look at the Frontier Conference and with football, and this week, for the first time all season, five teams ranked in the top 25. Carroll getting in for the first time after their win on the road against the College of Idaho. So big picture now with the Frontier Conference. And I know teams are going to beat each other these final 3 weeks of the season. So these teams that are in the top 25 will absorb some losses. Someone's losing today and then moving on forward. But as a whole, the conference is so incredibly strong. And looking at the latest poll kind of reveals that.
It really does. Every Saturday, depending upon who you play, you've got to strap it up and you've got to be ready. You can't really look backwards. You have to just not worry about what happened. Carroll's not going to have to worry about what happened in the first half. They have to look forward to the second half, and that's how you have to approach each Saturday, because who's ever hosting on a Saturday, there's going to be a big game being played.
Well, we thank you so much for stopping by and taking a moment to visit. And I know you're a busy guy, but spending a few minutes with us, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you being here.
All right, Charlie Gross, Athletic Director for Carroll College. As we are at halftime here in Helena, stay with us. More on the Bootlegger Halftime Report on the other side of the break.
Check 1 2. Good. Okay, I switched my. I thought I switched my mics. We're good. Okay, sounds good. Well, welcome back to Carroll College. Jack Marshall here on the sideline. Southern Oregon up 17-7, and we also got a basketball team here at Carroll College. So let's talk about one player here from Helena who recently made the commitment to play for the Saints. Tevin Wetzel, a senior at Helena High, announced that he will be staying home in Helena and will play basketball this year for Carroll College.
4 seconds on the clock. Wetzel crosses over with one to beat the buzzer. It's good! Oh. Tevin Wetzel seizes it all going into halftime.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm very excited to stay in my hometown, be able to play for Helena, but also be in the community of Helena and then be in the Carroll community as well.
Wetzel has been a starter since he was a freshman and earned All-State honors his sophomore and junior years. He's the first class of 2025 commit for new Carroll head coach Dan Pearson, who was hired over the summer.
As good as the academics are, the community is great as well. So joining an academic and athletic community is just very exciting. Coach Pearson and the coaching staff showed me their visions for the team and me, and I fit in perfectly. So.
But before he plays for the Fighting Saints, Tevin will have one more year with his teammates at Helena High.
I really do want to make state with my guys. You know, one last year as a Bengal, I'm going to put all my effort and trying to make a run.
Helena High's basketball season will start on December 14th. Reporting for SWX Montana, I'm Jack Marshall. And well, if Tevin is playing for the Saints, there's a good chance you'll see him here on SWX. That's all for this halftime segment. We'll see you on the other side.
Oregon and Carroll College, as we are down to the final 3 weeks of the regular season in the Frontier Conference. All kinds of playoff scenarios and implications on the line as we get down the stretch here. As we mentioned in talking to Charlie Gross, 5 teams in the Frontier Conference currently ranked in the top 25, including these two. Southern Oregon, number 8 in the country, Carroll College making their first appearance at number 21, and Chris Byers along with Bobby Beers. And, Bobby, statistically, when you look at these two teams, we expected a ton of points. Both teams come in averaging a whole lot of offense, but it's been the turnovers and the miscues and the missed opportunities that have been the story as we take a look at the halftime numbers.
Well, you look at the halftime numbers, the score could be a lot worse if you're Carroll College, but the 11 yards rushing, they've had an effective running game. They've just been pushed back by this defense of Southern Oregon. But look at the turnovers right there. They've lost 3 turnovers and they're only down 10 points. I'll tell you what, If you're Coach Purcell, 4 sacks, 3 fumbles lost, that's not a winning formula right there. So hopefully they go into the halftime and they start making some adjustments here as you watch Jack Perka right there early on. Tip ball, interception. There's one of those 3 turnovers right there, and that spelled certain doom for Carroll College's. Perka under pressure here just flips it out to his fullback right there, who did line up in the backfield but had great hands right there as we watch Perka again right here on the rollout, gets it to Ochoa out on the outside for some positive yards. Really the only drive that Carroll had right there, and it resulted in this play right here where he does the fake and finds Ochoa in the back of the end zone, the big tight end, key for this Carroll College offense. But Southern Oregon right here, the pitch and catch goes awry, and the safety right there, number 20, Caden Hansen, able to pick that one off. His Carroll defense has been out in the field a lot. His dad, Henry Gross, right there, was with us at halftime. But that man right there, Gunnar Yates, we talked about him early, has a lot of yards this season, well over 1,000, and knows how to find the end zone as he's been in there a couple of times. And then he gets onto the sidelines and does the wiggle dance. You have a name for it. I don't.
Well, Bobby, the best thing about watching him, watching a 1,000-yard runner, boy, look at him take on the DB there. The best thing about watching him play is his ability to break tackles, and there takes the little swing pass and does the rest.
We watch the transfer from power to speed or speed to power, and he does a great job as you watch the blocked kick going into halftime. As Southern Oregon has found a way in every phase of the game to have an impact here in a positive way for the guys wearing white today. As Gabe Foster's had a couple of sacks, picked up that blocked kick right there, but Southern Oregon has really done a nice job creating opportunities for themselves and then limiting the opportunities for the Saints, who have taken advantage of the one drive they had, punch it into the end zone. And we find ourselves right now in a 17-7 ball game. But if you're Carroll College, the one thing you take away from this is it could be a lot worse.
No question. 17-7. If you're just joining us, you would think very close football game. It hasn't been.
No, not at all.
But it is on the scoreboard, and that's what the message that Coach Purcell is going to sell his team at halftime. Guys, we didn't play very well, but we're right back in this one. Stay with us. We'll wrap up the Bootlegger halftime report when we come back from Helena. Conference, the Frontier Conference, where champions are born. Closing into the start of the third quarter here in Helena. Southern Oregon on top by 10, 17-7. Let's get down on the field and check in with Jack Marshall.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, it's been a good game so far down here. Suns finally came out, but someone I want to highlight, of course, is Gunnar Yates from SOU, their running back. I kind of compare him a little bit to the NAI version of Ashton Genty at Boise State. I mean, he's putting up similar video game numbers, but perhaps the coolest part of him, as a true freshman, he ran for 600 yards and 8 touchdowns, but then he got hurt and was limited to injury all last year. So not only is it good to see him doing as well as he is, but it's really fun to see a guy like him come back and return as dominant as he has after not really being able to play last year. And as you can see, it's really helped SOU out.
Yeah, those are incredibly impressive numbers as we get into the back half of the season.
Okay,
And, Bobby, you know that on a team that's aspiring to make a deep run in the playoffs, if you've got that kind of weapon at running back and the ability to run the football, it just makes your offense so terribly tough to stop.
Yeah, they've got a lot of weapons on that offense. His backup, Hidalgo, is fun to watch with the ball in his hands. Much different back, smaller version, more of a peekaboo back, but with the ball in both of those running backs' hands, they're a definite threat anytime they touch the ball. And then Ashuto's done a nice job of finding his big receivers downfield. This Southern offense, we talk about the favorable field position and all that stuff. They've really underachieved given the opportunities that they've been given by this Carroll College football team.
Yeah, and we've seen pretty much all of the Frontier Conference schools, and each school has players that they relied on. Obviously for Carroll College, Jack Perk has been monumental in their success with all the issues they've had running the football. And then you look at Southern Oregon and their quarterback, guy's efficient. I mean, he doesn't do a lot of spectacular things, but
doesn't make mistakes.
He does not make mistakes, and and relies on that good running game and just methodically moves that offense.
Yeah, you talk about different styles of quarterbacks. We watched Eastern Oregon, with the quarterback that's just a threat with the ball anytime he gets it. You watch Western's quarterback who can throw the ball downfield or run downhill.
Yeah.
We watched Tech last week, and Thielen had a great week, the best we've seen him. And today we're watching Perka really, find a way. He's getting hit in the face and he's distributing the ball, throwing it, under pressure quite a bit. His efficiency is something that we've talked about a little bit, and he's proven it today. And then you talk about Southern Oregon's quarterback, how he distributes the ball and makes sure he gets it into his weapons' hands, and making sure that this offense does get something out of it, the opportunities that they've been given to this point.
Well, Ashuto has good numbers coming in as well. They're not Jack Perkin numbers, but he hits on 66% of his passes. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards with 14 touchdowns, but get this, 14 TDs to 1 interception.
Yeah.
So we said he doesn't make mistakes, and he clearly doesn't, averaging around 250 throwing the football. So
he doubled that interception number today as he threw that ball behind, and Carroll was able to come away with a very opportune interception, as those things don't come away very often from Ashuto.
This is a short kick that is going to be returned, fielded right at the 20-yard line, and Hidalgo up to the 40. So the Raiders, if we can say one thing that's been repetitive, and we can say it again, great field position to start a drive.
Yeah, they've been very, very fortunate from where they've been able to start drives. Just the opposite for Carroll, as we've seen them backed up a few times. And then, with Southern Oregon, and we've watched this a number of times, Gunnar Yates, as many yards as he's had, he sets his blockers up when he gets space and guys out in front of him. He uses blockers very well. Great vision and feel for when to turn on the jets and when to be patient with the ball.
Yates will open in the backfield. Ashuto has gone all the way at quarterback. They'll start this drive at the 39. Yates straight up the middle. Nice gain to the 42. So a gain of 3, maybe 4 on the play. And they'll mark it at the 43, and at the bottom of that pile to make the stop is Henry Gross.
And Gross from his linebacker spot finding a way to introduce himself to Mr. Yates.
Hey, Dad was on at halftime. I got to show up here in the third quarter.
We didn't get a chance to work that into the conversation too much.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Ashuto now.
Nope,
or Yates
direct
rather, direct
snap.
Yeah, they go back to that. Didn't fool anyone. And a nice stop in the open field is Orlandi, who's had a pretty big game today.
And we've got a Carroll College defensive lineman down there. But yeah, Carroll College wasn't fooled at all. They just adjusted with the safeties as they saw Shudo in motion, and the safety came out and the linebackers stuck down because they'd seen that play on the menu before.
Try to get a number on the injured Carroll College player.
Community support of our fighting tanks is provided by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana.
Rocky Shields looks like he's the injured player.
Well, they're helping him to his feet, the Carroll College training staff there. Just making sure.
So it is Shields, a sophomore from Littleton, Colorado, coming off the field gingerly there. He got a lower leg injury. It's going to be 3rd and 7.
We haven't called Shields' name a lot today,
no.
But his presence has been felt with the pressure up the middle, and this Carroll defensive line has really done a great job all season, the ability to keep them unbeaten so far in the Frontier Conference, and Shields has been a huge part of that from his defensive nose tackle position.
Okay, so 3rd and 7 from the 42. Obviously, this would be a huge stop for this Carroll College defense, and everybody's coming. Here's the pressure, and Ashudo simply has to throw it away, and I mean they brought the house.
Yeah, Suero and Gross back there applying the pressure to Ashudo as he just pitched the ball out there. The closest one to it was a Carroll College defender, number 7, Graham, as he made an attempt to go make a play on the ball, but this Carroll College defense, as it's done all day, you know, really coming up big when it needed to and forcing the punt here by Southern Oregon.
Colton Samus into punt for just the 2nd time today, stands at the 28-yard line. Sullivan back to receive. This is a high kick, fair catch, signaled for and made at the 27-yard line.
Good job by Sullivan again, just making the fair catch, goes into the danger zone, surrounded by white jerseys. Sure-handed young man out of Kalispell, Montana, sets up Carroll College.
All right, so a 3 and out for Southern Oregon. Saints with the football trailing by 10 when we come back. To Nelson Stadium, get a look at the Suero family, all in attendance watching this one today.
Yeah, the sophomore from Helena has had an impact in every game for Carroll, and his family's there regardless, bundled up, been in Helena a long time, so Suero getting a little support from family and friends there today.
Perka looks left, now feels pressure, throws it away, intended for LaFerge, and just got it away and avoided the sack.
Yeah, Southern Oregon wasn't fooled at all. They had Ochoa covered on that. That's who Perka was looking for on the forge downfield. Perka holding on to that one just a little bit too long right there. As you see the pressure applied, steps up in the pocket, and then finally very aware, going to take the incompletion rather than the sack. Second down here for this Carroll offense. First possession of the second half.
Ty Glumbick came straight up the middle to apply the pressure. 2nd and 10 from the 32. And LaFerge with the calls. Got some room to the 30, to the 35, of the 40. Up over the 40 to the 42, and a first down for Carroll College.
Well, you saw Southern Oregon drop out in coverage. Little draw play. We don't talk about the draw play, but Carroll using it effectively right there to move the chains, get themselves a little bit more space to operate with, as you see them right there, hat on a hat by that offensive line. And LaForge able to get downhill with it, breaks into the open field, gets out past the 40, setting up Carroll College with another set of downs.
Big gain on the play, moves the chains to the 42. And a first down. Perka keeps the football. Going to be wrapped up and taken down after a short gain. That was Cameron Pruitt on the stop.
Yeah, they tried to get the ball. They just faked the handoff right there to number 31, Bryson Bailey. And Perka kept the ball right there, got a couple of yards, but this Southern Oregon defensive unit able to disengage from their blocks and bring Perka down before he does too much damage.
Picks up 2 on the play, 2nd and 8 from the 44. 13 minutes to play, third quarter. Saints trying to put together a drive. Perka looks left, now flips it up there, and that is Acholkin, who tries to make the catch and then almost intercepted. Incomplete pass.
Acholkin had a shot at that one. Ball was woefully underthrown, and Acholkin trying to make the adjustment. Almost caught it off the back of the defender. Falls harmlessly to the ground, though. And so Carroll able to avoid disaster right there as that ball hung in the air after it bounces off the defender. Up in the air, one shot at it.
That's a great
Number
job.
7, Jackson Jedrikowski. That's a big name for a smaller receiver or smaller DB right there. Jedrikowski had a shot at that at the end, unable to come up with it. And Carroll here with 3rd long, trying to keep this drive alive.
Here's Perka. He's got time, now throws out there for Acholkin, who makes the catch at the 44. Wow, what a catch in heavy traffic and good coverage. Pruitt was right there with him, but he took it away.
And Perka just sat in the pocket, let that thing develop, was under pressure and threw it out there. And Acholkin does a nice job adjusting, as you see it right here. Backs into the defender, gives himself a little bit of space. Not a lot of room there. Is number 12, Dylan Daniels, was hanging right with him. But Acholkin uses that big body to make some space and comes down with it. Another set of downs for this Carroll offense driving into Southern Oregon territory.
First down from the 44. Inside pass, slant, incomplete. And that was intended for Gavin Vandenaker, who's haven't called his number today.
Yeah, just a little slant route, a little too hot to handle there, but Perka had good time on that one. That running game, we do it by running back by committee, really. And, you know, it's effective enough that they have to respect it and create a little bit of time for Perka.
Incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10. Here's LaFerge trying to bounce outside and breaks one tackle. Now tries to get to the corner, but not much there. Adonis Jackson from his defensive end position with a great stop.
Well, we talk about the difference between backs, and I realize that Carroll's down to their 3rd or 4th back right there with LaFerge. But the difference between a guy like Yates is he's able to stiff arm a guy and then get north-south, as LaFerge right there just kind of continued to run east-west and allowed the speed that this Southern Oregon defense has to chase him down only after he got a couple of yards.
So another big 3rd down here. They need 8. Ball at the 42. Perka looks, now rolls right, buys some time. Jackson in pursuit. Now throws out there, incomplete. Intended for Lincoln Holmes, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, just a little bit of action in the backfield. Southern Oregon's defensive end lined up about as wide as I've ever seen a defensive end. There's a wide 9, and then he was out at the numbers. And, the tackle's only about, 10 feet or so from the ball. This guy was a good 30 feet away from the ball as he rushed outside. Perka ran away from him, unable to get it. A little bit of pressure there, but Carroll College unable to do anything with it here, having to punt the ball.
All right, Nick Klaus, it's been an adventure. Pressure up the middle, does get this one away, hits at the 15. That's going to be fielded at the 10. Hidalgo, the backup running back, fields it. And Southern Oregon will get the football for the second time here in the second half, leading by 10. 11:06 to be played in the third. And I look there at the Carroll College defense as they get ready to take the field. Southern Oregon on top, 17-7. Surprisingly low-scoring game as we go to Jack Marshall.
Yeah, low-scoring game, and you guys have talked all day. Carroll's offense, obviously, they're down to quite a few running backs. Xavier Ford was a D1 guy who came on, had a great first game that we had here against Montana Tech, and then second game of the season, first play, he goes down. Peter Minert, a true freshman, was playing for him. He's a Gatorade Player of the Year over in Idaho. He also went down, and so did Max Lehman, a guy who came on at the end of last year. So 3 running backs already out, and so obviously LaFerge and some other guys have had to step in. And Jake Jeske, I don't think we've seen him a whole lot today either.
All right, thanks so much, Jack. First down at the 22. Yates just doesn't go down easily at all. Finally wrapped up and taken down by Hunter Peck. And Peck's had himself a game today, Bobby.
Yeah, that motor that each one of those defensive linemen play with is as they continue to flow down the line of scrimmage. And Yates, who has been able to score through some holes right there, but not before Peck gets his big paws on him and stays after it right there, brings him down for a minimal gain.
By far the worst field position the Raiders have had all afternoon. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10 from the 22. No points scored so far in this second half. Ashudo now, play action. Now looks, fires across the middle and has a man at the 35 and a first down. And a nice catch out there by Sawyer Cleveland, their leading receiver. And that's going to move the sticks as Cleveland comes down with the catch at the 35 up to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, got great protection for Ashudo up front there, and he was able to deliver a strike here as we watch Yates with the ball. Nothing doing up there up front as we watch Garrett Warden from his defensive tackle spot able to bring him down right at the line of scrimmage.
What are they doing a little different here, this Carroll defense, in containing Yates a little bit better?
Well, they're keeping everybody in the box, right? They're and trusting that the downfield, they're going to stop the run. That's what they have to do, and they've done a nice job with that front 7. And then the back 4 or 5 guys in the secondary rallying late, reading well from that Jack or Mac linebacker position as you watch big number 49, kind of disconnect himself from the linebacker spot playing out in space here.
Oh, look at this on 2nd and 10.
Couple of double screens right there.
Yep, incomplete. That was an interesting formation as they tried to get it on the screen to Wickman, who was running behind 3 different receivers ahead of him.
You watch Eli Abey, number 49, as he disconnected out from his middle linebacker spot. He was He knew what was happening. You saw him making the hand signals. He knew that there was going to be a double screen. He knew that the tight end nearest him was ineligible, and he saw that, recognized it. That's what smart football players do. And these linebackers, very complimentary of the defensive linemen in front, do their due diligence in the film room. He knew what was going on. There was nothing surprising right there. And Carroll College, here, their defense faced with another big third down.
3rd and 10 from the 37. Big pressure. They try to set up the screen, but it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
And one of those guys that came through there, I want to say it was Warden again, able to get his hand on the screen pass right there. They were trying to set up the screen to Yates. Those guys getting their big paws right up there, coming down there. And I believe it was there, as you saw Swerrell recognizing the screen out to Yates, breaks off his pursuit, and Carroll College's defense right behind those big defensive linemen able to bring up the punt team here for Southern Oregon.
Much better job defensively for the Saints as Coach Purcell's made some great adjustments at the half. Big pressure up the middle. Somebody might have got a hand on it, but it takes a Southern Oregon bounce all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, that one was kind of off the side of his foot and near the Carroll College sideline, but he does get a great bounce pushing that Carroll offense further back. But, again, we've talked about the score and the turnovers. We had the 4 sacks, the 3 turnovers, and the pressure's been on that Carroll defense to come up big. And right there you see again where Carroll College needed to make a big play on defense. The big play wasn't necessarily there to be made, but the stop was. And now we watch Carroll College trying to answer the call here on offense.
Well, they've given themselves an opportunity with this defensive effort and now get the ball back. LaFerge got some room. Now he finds a gap and gets up to the 25-yard line, but that was shut down quickly as the hole was filled by Damon Carter, redshirt freshman from Sacramento, who shot the gap, keeping LaFerge to a short gain.
And make a note of that right there, because Perka did. He had his eyes downfield, and he had a Kulchin downfield streaking, and that was a zone replay. He read give on that, gave it not a lot of yards, but they'll come back to that here in a little bit, I guarantee it.
2nd and 9 after the 1-yard gain. LaFerge again, short gain. Well, it doesn't pick up anything really, so this will bring up 3rd and long.
They're getting great push from the defensive line, and not allowing any downfield push with this offensive line.
Let's get it down quickly to Jack Marshall with an update on one of the injured Carroll players.
Yeah, just real quickly, Rocky Shields, number 13, Carroll defensive tackle, is back warming up on the sideline. He had his helmet off, but I would expect him to maybe come out on the next defensive drive for the Saints. So good to see him at least back on his feet and good to go.
All right, thanks so much, Jack. So 3rd and 9 for the Saints offense. Trying to build a little bit of momentum, pressure up the middle. They fire out there to Vandenaker, who makes the catch, who stretches for the first down. Now,
it's going to be close.
I think they're going to give it to him.
I think they are as well.
And Vandenaker, it was after the catch, and you saw him spin and extend the arms, and Bobby, that was enough for a first down.
Yeah, their big wide receiver, Vandenaker, he's a big, tall drink of water himself. He goes 6'4", about 190. The one thing right there that bought them a little bit of time is LaFerge doing a great job in pass protection, stepping up inside. There's a little bit of pressure coming up inside, but LaFerge shutting it down, allowing Perka the time to get that ball out to Vandenaker.
LaFerge now cuts it back up inside. There was nothing there as he tried to get to the corner, so he cut it up inside, got some positive yards, but Glumbick was right there to make the stop.
Well, we talked to the Carroll College running backs coach before the game. Coach Hogan recruited me way back when we had black and white TVs and didn't have remotes. But Hoagie's been around. He's the last connecting coach to all those national championships up there. He coaches running backs up here, coaches offensive line at Capitol. He was telling us as we watch Ochoa just trip and fall. Might have had a little play there off the play action. But, he was talking about the depth that Carroll doesn't have and the creativity that they have to have now with all the injuries at running back.
Coach Hogan was at Billings Central for years as the head football coach, Billings Central High School, way back when I first started in my broadcasting career in Billings and got to know him very, very well many, many years ago. He's just a couple of booths over with the assistant coaches, and I can tell you for a fact his favorite band of all time, Grand Funk Railroad. That's just an FYI, probably not in the media guide, but
Trivia night, that comes up, everybody. Let us know, too.
Here's Perka play action. And
Shulkin
is wide open at the 40, to the 30, to the 20. Takes a hit at the 15 and a first down for Carroll College.
The play fake was to nobody, but the pass was to a Kulchin. That's how you say it, Chris. And a Kulchin from Townsend able to get this Carroll offense back on the right side of the field if you're wearing purple, all the way down to the 18 as you watch Perka. Play action to nobody. LaForge went the other way. And just a strike to a Kulchin who's been right in that spot all day and strikes fear into the hearts of the Raiders as he gets across the 50 down to the 18-yard line.
Inside the red zone, first down slant. Vandenaker with a catch at the 5. Stretches forward close to the goal line. Mark just short. First and goal from the 10. From the 2, rather.
The second big catch by Vandenaker. Took a big shot once he got it inside the 5, and he's still down. But Vandenaker, the same slant that he dropped earlier, totally redeems himself right there. Ball outside his frame, tough catch in traffic, and then just absolutely battles inside the 5 for this Carroll offense. Picks up the first down, as I think our guys are looking for Coach Purcell on the sideline somewhere down there. That unfortunately isn't him, I don't think. That doesn't look like Coach Purcell.
Nope. But that was a, my goodness, that was a shot at the end of that play. But Vandenaker, and I ask you about it, going across the middle, that slant, you know you're going to get contact and get hit, and he took a pretty big shot there, and now he's up on his feet and being helped off the field. But this is a big drive for this Saints team, trailing by 10 at 17-7. There is still life in this football team after all the struggles they had in the first half, all the turnovers, 3 of them in the first half. Their defense has buttoned it down against Southern Oregon, and now the offense starting to come to life.
Yeah, Vandenaker, responded, comes back from the drop pass earlier, makes a big pass catch down here on the sideline, moves the sticks, then a tough catch inside. They have to drag him off the field, and he's asking this Carroll College crowd to get into it as they drive inside the 5 with a full house backfield here.
Saints knocking on the door late here in the 3rd. And ball is given to Robert Reed.
Robert Reed following the big boys up inside here. Just falls forward for a nice yard or so closer to the end zone. Now a little bit more traditional package jogging in from the sideline as Suero and the big boys hop off.
They give him 1 on the play, so 2nd and goal from the 1. Here we go. Perka with the push. No signal yet. Nope, they're going to mark him short. So
a little bit of a scrum inside there. You got the tush push. I don't know what they call it here in Helena. They're asking to do it again.
Well, let's see if they hurry to the line and go right back to that play.
Rickman's asking him to do it again real quick. But it's 3rd down. 3rd and less than a yard to get to the end zone. Run one tight end out, run another one in.
Big play here for both teams.
And Coach Purcell wants to talk about this just a little bit more. Smart play by the head coach.
Absolutely. You got to get it right. Trailing by 10, and there's so much at stake at this game for both of these teams. And we've talked a lot about it at the beginning of the show, about the schedule. We'll get to that more. First, let's check in with Jack Marshall.
Yeah, guys, this is a pretty crazy sequence. You said really important. It looks like the ball is a couple feet away, but on that first play of the drive, they had Forrest Suero, Hunter Peck, and I think that was Brett Tomasini, the linebackers, the 3 running backs. That's 3 defensive linemen in there. I haven't seen that a whole lot, but on that last play, the Southern Oregon defense wasn't quite ready on the outside, but they were able to get a stop inside. So it'll be interesting to see what they do on these next 2 plays here. And with the special teams mishaps, I'd imagine it's 4-down territory from 3rd and about a yard, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Jack, that's the same heavy set that they brought in, and they did the play action pass with Ochoa along the back of the end zone there. So everything's kind of, with your senior quarterback, I'm sure Coach Purcell's down there having a discussion, trying to see exactly what he likes, and they're bringing the big boys back in, Jack.
Yeah, Forrest Suero, I think, has 3 career touchdowns now. He had a pick 6 last week. He's had a punt block return one. He had one back when he was a freshman. So the kid from Helena High, I mean, he's no stranger to touching the ball and getting the end zone. So
well,
maybe
we're
watch
on offense.
out for
We're on
91
offense here. Unless you're a politician, pick 6s are not an offensive play.
But he scored touchdowns is what I'm saying.
There you go.
Yeah, he gets in the end zone.
I got you, brother.
Here we go, 3rd and goal from the 1. Perka up under center. Go to Reed again, right side touchdown, Carroll. That time they got a good push on that offensive line.
Robert Reed just reading the blocks right there, showed a little bit more patience rather than just butting his head into the back of another purple jersey, let those blocks set up. He went downhill, went untouched into the end zone. So Carroll keeping it close and creeping into the end zone, brings it within 4 pending the extra point.
So that was Tomasini that scored. We are our numbers. We had a couple of numbers on our roster that are a little off here, so we apologize for that. So Tomasini with a touchdown to make it 17-13, and now the extra point. And this is big to pull the Saints to within a field goal.
That was Klaus kicking the extra point right there.
Yep, and it's good. So 4:28 to play here in the 3rd. Carroll College answers the bell and strikes late in the 3rd quarter. It's a 3-point game in Helena.
Big ones. The first one right here to Vandenacre, using the big body to stretch for the first down. And then right here to Kulshin right there as he races away all the way down, gets him inside the 20 before being knocked out of bounds. And then this one, the second one over here to Vandenacre, using that big body to stretch all 6'4" of it all the way out there. Little injury on the play, and then Brett Tomasini able to utilize his blocks in front of him, able to celebrate with his other buddies in purple in the checkerboard in the back of the end zone right there. Gets a little love, senior quarterback, as Carroll pulls this one even closer. And there's Coach Purcell right there.
What a job he's done.
Former player
halftime.
here at Carroll, played for Putter Petrino a long time ago, and there's a lot of pride in bringing the pride back to Carroll College. Former powerhouse, they got the 6 national championships, and you know, with the way things are going in this season for them, they're undefeated in play here in the Frontier Conference.
Oh, this one hits at the 15, and the Saints get just what they want here as Vandenacre shoots the gap.
That's actually Graham.
That's
wears
Graham,
7.
yeah.
He wears 7 on defense. Graham wears 7 on offense. On defense, Graham was on defense. Vandenacre's on offense, and that's Graham, the Dillon product, by way of Divide, Montana, making a big special teams play as Southern Oregon let that ball bounce, which is never recommended on a kickoff. That's a live ball, and Graham makes him pay for it as Southern Oregon gets worse field position than they've had all day. First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
All the momentum going the way of the Saints here in the second half, and now they pin Southern Oregon back at the 12-yard line. First down. Pass complete up over the 20-yard line, and a nice start as Sawyer Cleveland comes down with the catch from Mashudo.
Yeah, Cleveland with that big body just sitting down in zone defense, and Julio having to make the tackle from his linebacker spot, but not before Cleveland gets a first down, gets him out from the shadows of the goal line there. And Southern Oregon's kind of gone away from Yates in the running game a little bit here. Boy, they were very effective moving the ball down the field when he was kind of the centerpiece of this offense.
Yeah, no question, and he has been contained much better here in the second half. That was a pass and catch that results in a first down. Here comes some pressure up the middle. Yates going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. Avoids a couple of tackles, falls forward to the 24, picks up a couple on the play, 2nd and 8.
Well, this defensive line at Carroll's not allowing that penetration downfield progress by that offensive line. They're getting a hat and a hat, but Yates bounces into the backs of his guys, tries to bounce it outside, and the pursuit of Carroll shuts him down. Only gains 2 there, brings up, I think it's 2nd down and 2nd and 8 here.
2nd and 8, and Gross at the bottom of that pile. Short gain by Yates. 3-minute mark, third quarter. Ashudo, quick drop, fires, pass caught at the 29. Short gain on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd down, and that was Jeremiah Falstick, the tight end, with the catch.
And Julio, they list him as a linebacker. He's kind of playing in that safety area. He's just keyed in on that tight end right there, coming downhill as soon as he makes the catch. Him playing a little bit deeper, non-traditional linebacker spot is this Carroll defense making it tough sledding here for this Southern offense in this third quarter.
Another big play here, another 3rd down. They need 3, ball at the 29. They bring Wickman in motion. And now they throw out there to him and falls forward. It's going to be a first down. He needed the 32, got to the 33.
Just enough to move the chains right there. They dressed it up with a little bit of motion and play action to Yates. Always a threat when he's in the backfield. The play action bought him just enough time to allow the ball out there on the edge and move the chains, picking up another Southern Oregon first down.
So big conversion to extend this drive for Southern Oregon as the Saints have fought their way right back into this thing, 17-14 here late in the third. Give us to Yates. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage and taken down for a loss.
Yeah, Suero and Gross right there. Suero playing the nose tackle spot, and Gross just run blitzed right inside there, not getting a lot of penetration, getting a little bit of help from Ben Melhoff right there, and limiting the effectiveness of the run game as Carroll just playing down the line of scrimmage, not allowing Yates any space to run, closing down run lanes and knocking him backwards 4 yards. So Carroll's defense getting a little bit more rest this half, and that ability just to get a bit of a breather is allowing them to play a little bit faster and downhill, kind of nullifying this Southern Oregon run game.
Night and day difference for this Saints defense here in the second half. 2nd and 13, loss of 3. And they'll stay on the ground. No, they don't. They go up top. Pass is incomplete at the 40-yard line.
Just enough distraction. You had the linebacker there coming downhill. Cameron Pruitt just jumps right into the passing lane, almost gets his hand on the ball, distracting enough to where the ball falls incomplete. You'll see him coming right here. You'll just see him jump just really, really quickly, distracted the receiver Cleveland just enough that he didn't see the ball was thrown a little bit low and away from the big receiver. It brings up a big 3rd down here for this Southern Oregon offense.
And again, the Saints forcing Southern Oregon into these 3rd downs. And now we'll try to get a stop and get the ball back. 33 seconds to go here in the third. Crowd on their feet. Back into this one. Saints show blitz. Here they come. Shudo reads it and almost intercepted. Ball was batted and tipped. Incomplete pass.
Well, Ben Melhoff from his rock defensive end, outside linebacker position, drops into coverage, into the passing lane. They're able to get his hands up in the air. You'll watch this one. The quarterback doesn't see him as there's pressure all over the place. Melhoff gets his hands in the air, and then the ball falls harmlessly as Eli Larson unable to come down with the tipped ball. So Carroll, though, defense comes up big, stops this SOU offense, forces the punt again now.
They're going to get the ball back again. Fair catch, signaled for, and may not fumble. And Sullivan falls on it. That could have been disastrous, but covers it up at the 35-yard line, and that's where the Saints go back to work on offense. So Jack Perka and the Saints getting the football back, and Bobby doing a much better job not only on defense, but this offense now beginning to click as well.
Well, some of the success that they've had here early in the second half as we wind down the third quarter here has allowed the Carroll fans to have a reason to stand up and cheer. So, even the crowd's recognizing the effort put forth by the guys in purple today here on Senior Day, also Military Appreciation Day here at Carroll College as they come out again with Perka behind center.
From the 35, first down. And Perka looks, now fires across the middle, and that is caught at the 42. Nice catch in traffic by Ochoa.
Yeah, not necessarily open right there as the linebacker, 42 for Southern Oregon, Ty Glumbick, was right there on Ochoa's hip, but he was able to come down with it in traffic, moves the ball, brings up second about 3 at the end of the third quarter here in Helena, Chris.
Yeah, that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. We got ourselves a ball game at Nelson Stadium between these two nationally ranked powers. 17-14 Raiders holding on by a field goal the fourth quarter. Straight ahead. Trail 17-14 with the football, looking at a 2nd and 3 from the 42. Boy, the joint's jumping now here in the third quarter. The fans back into this one after a slow start.
Yeah, anytime we play Neil Diamond at the end of the third quarter, the Carroll faithful get out of their seats no matter what's going on. They trickle back in, especially for Neil Diamond and Sweet Caroline. So everybody got the rhythm section going here at Carroll, and something to cheer about here at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, LaFerge keeps his feet and gets the first down. Great second effort by LaFerge as he takes it up over the 45 to the 48-yard line, and a first down for the Saints. Good second effort.
Good initial hole right there. LaFerge gets to it, then met with a couple of white jerseys. As you see him just battling around the edge, gets the edge right there, was stopped almost right at the sticks, maybe a push short, but his second effort, as you mentioned, pushes it forward, a new set of downs for Carroll.
First down from the 48. Here's Perka, looks left, now comes back the other way, fires across the middle for Laforge, who makes the catch at the 45, down to the 44. Nice play, gain of 6. I don't think he was the initial receiver in that pattern, but Perka checked down to him, and they get 6.
Southern Oregon had great coverage downfield where Perka wanted to go, and Laforge just kind of leaked out of the backfield late. And again, with the second effort, gets another 3 or 4 yards, sets up this Carroll offense, second and short in Southern Oregon territory. Checking into the game is number 31, Bryson Bailey in the backfield. Another back out of the running back room here at Carroll. They draw straws on the sideline to see whose turn it is now.
So gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2 from the 44 in Raider territory, and they go right to him. And Bailey's got a first down. Takes it down to the 36-yard line.
We talked about Coach Purcell and how he played here in the past, just dialing up from the old option days under Putter Petrino right there, just pitches it out to Bailey. He gets downhill, moves the sticks as they climb deeper in as a couple of SOU Raiders are down on the field here.
Injured Raider on the play. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 13 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Carroll College in Raider territory. Oregon, and for Carroll College, it came right at the end of the play. Gavin Vandenaker over there on the far sideline, and Bobby, hard to tell what happened, but they've got the card out.
Yeah, Bryson Bailey just with that option play, just running downhill, and Vandenaker doing a great work as a great teammate does when you're out on there on the edge, as we'll see it here on the Great Falls Realty replay, is just a quick option pitch out there. Vandenaker just got run over by Bailey, and they're bringing it in, and he knew immediately something wasn't right as the cart's being brought out. The ambulance is coming out onto the turf, and we've got a Southern Oregon player down right at the C, trying to make sure that we get everybody taken care of. It's a safety first thing. They're checking to make sure that the ambulance can get under the uprights there. So, well, Chris, we haven't had a lot of action today in the Frontier as we watch the officials kind of tend to their business today. But up in Havre today, we had Northern, who's hasn't found the win column, and they're going to have to wait at least another week as Western went up to Havre and kind of put it on the Northern Lights 56-0. It's a long ways to go, and we've got a game later tonight. Montana Tech's playing Arizona Christian, and College of Idaho is at Eastern Oregon. So these are the only two games that we've had so far this year, but that it's coming down to these last 3 weeks as we figure out who's going to win this Frontier Conference crown in football.
Yeah, and the this one is the critical game in regard to what's transpiring so far. As you take a look at the Frontier Conference standings, Carroll comes into this at 5-0. They lead the conference 6-1 overall, and there's Southern Oregon at 4-1. So the winner of this game certainly positions himself in a great position with a couple of weeks to go as we take a look at Coach Purcell, who's over there with his receivers. They get him into the cart, and boy, we hope for the best from him. And
Gavin Vandenaker's played such an important role for this Carroll offense. As we watched him with the tough catch on the slant route right there, as if they've got that leg in the brace, ready to go, and the ambulance is down here ready to whisk him to the hospital here nearby at nearby campus here. But we wish that young man the best, and they were able to take the Southern Oregon defensive lineman Saia Porter off the sideline.
As you take a look there, Bobby, at the NAI rankings, 5 teams, as we said, going into today, ranked in the top 25. Let's go down to Jack Marshall.
See it all. Yeah, guys, obviously not a scene you want to see it all down here. Vandenaker went down, the medics ran out to him, and immediately they turned around and yelled, "We need an ambulance," the medics did, and they brought it down. The good news is Vandenaker, he's upright in the cart. It looked like a lower body injury, just obviously something very, very gruesome, but he's upright. He just kind of signaled to the fans. But, tough to see a local kid from Townsend, Montana go down with this severity, but good to see that St. Peter's Health come down here. As you said, the ambulance looked like they had some issues under the goalpost, but now he's in the back of it, and they're getting loaded. But, yeah, just tough to see. Vandenaker kind of had a breakout year this year after not really seeing the field last year. So we hope he's all right. Bryson Bailey was the other guy down. He got off the field all right, and the Southern Oregon player got help, but he was also off the field. So just kind of a bizarre scene here down at Nelson Stadium. 3 players went down, and now 1 player getting taken out in the back of the ambulance. Never want to see it, but the good news is Gavin Vandenaker is he's conscious. So.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. And you mentioned his productivity this season for the Saints. 21 catches coming into this game, and had a good game today as you see the team all looking down there towards the end zone and giving him the thumbs up as some of the guys on the sidelines ran over to give him some support. So hopefully we get some good news.
His offense was in the huddle right there. He was waving at them, giving them the thumbs up. He realizes the severity of it and is trying to, release some of the tension just so that he knows that his guys are they know that he's going to be okay, or is at least in good spirits. We'll have to wait and see on the severity of the injury. Of course, never want to speculate on something like that, but it does require more medical attention than, just the average trainer going out and hobbling them back and forth. But that play, just a quick, simple speed option downhill, and we had 3 players down initially. And boy, I'll tell you what, as important a play as it was, you never want to see that many people on the field after the whistles are blown.
No, and you get tangled up down there at the end of those plays, and Vandenaker, like Jack mentioned, looked like a lower leg injury.
Being an unselfish teammate too, right, Chris? Just blocking out on the edge as a wide receiver. He didn't even see what was going on behind him. Just got run over right there, got entangled. He's being taken out of the stadium currently, but we're just about ready to get underway here. So Carroll College, if they needed any more motivation right there, coming back for their Carroll College teammate leaving the stadium currently, as Carroll College continues to drive against Southern Oregon here in the 4th quarter.
So when we get back to the game here, the ball will be at the 36-yard line.
And this game really mirrors the one that we had earlier this season with Carroll, where they dug themselves a deep hole in the first quarter and then managed to make a game out of it at the end before falling short against Tech, trying to get a different outcome today as they've made themselves back into this one, climbing within 3 here as they're driving here in the 4th.
Here's Perka. Flushed out, throws out here to the right, got his tight end for a catch. Had a nice job. Good execution there. There was pressure, and Rickman, the tight end, slides out and makes the catch.
Well, Rickman playing tight end. He's played fullback today. He's played running back. He returned kicks for him today. So Rickman inserted himself in the game in multiple spots, having an impact and able to pick up some much-needed yardage on first down here for Carroll.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Ball at the 29.
Rickman again,
he
up the
gets
middle.
The ball in the backfield, and he gets the first down. And the big fella takes it inside the 20 to 17 and a first down.
Well, the big punishing runners, we've seen those in the Frontier Conference, right, all season. We went to Tech last week. Lander Smith had a heck of a game right here. The big back at Carroll's Ryan Rickman, and Rickman makes a guy miss at the line of scrimmage right there and then just bruises forward, gets the first down, makes sure everybody knows it as this Carroll offense finding its footing. Maybe late, but it ain't over. They got life.
First down, 12 minutes to go, 4th quarter. And they'll stay on the ground, and a good straight-ahead plow up inside the 15.
And something's changed, Chris. Carroll's getting some push up front on offense right now. Late in the fourth quarter, this team's built to stay with you late as they continue to run downhill against a defensive line that's really kind of pushed them back in the face of Perka all season, or all game rather. And right now, this downhill power running game for Carroll having an effect as we're watching Ryan Rickman, the third running back we've seen today, have some success.
All right, so a gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 13. Perka rolls to his right, now looks, got a man at the 10 who's wide open, and that's Holmes inside the 5, and that'll set up a 1st and goal.
Lincoln Holmes, that thing took a long time. They did play action to Rickman. Rickman ran out on the other side, and Holmes just drug across the line of scrimmage, got in the face of his quarterback, as you see here on the Great Falls Realty replay, and Perka able to find him. There's nobody around him, puts his foot in the ground, tries to get as close to the goal line as he can. 1st and goal, Carroll. Rickman up inside.
Slams up inside. He'll be short. They're going to mark him at the 1. So 2nd and goal from the 1.
We talked a lot early about the pressure applied by this Southern Oregon defensive line, and right now Carroll's offense being operated in the middle and being controlled in the middle by the center guard combos, and they're having good success getting good push up inside against this Southern Oregon defensive line.
Saints knocking on the door, trying for their first lead of the day. Tomasini right side touchdown, Saints. There it is.
Tackled in the end zone, and Carroll's made a comeback, down 17-0, has slowly and methodically hasn't given up on themselves, and right now hops in front 20-17 at home, finding a way, answering the call, and giving as good as they got and getting into the end zone.
Well, the second half has been a complete turnaround, and the momentum clearly on the side of the Saints. Southern Oregon has been shut out so far here in the second half, and as you mentioned, Bobby, 21 unanswered. Extra point pending, and this is up, and it is good. 10:26 to play here in the fourth. Carroll College takes the lead over the Raiders from Southern Oregon, 21-17. Touchdown for Carroll College.
Yeah, the Great Falls Realty replay right in there. They bring in the Big Daddies, and that power running game right there as they just hand the ball to Tomasini, and he's able to follow a couple of blocks by his buddies dressed up in purple just like him, and Carroll College able to withstand the early onslaught by Southern Oregon, up 17. They come back 21 unanswered here in the fourth quarter to go up at home on Senior Day and Military Appreciation Day. This Carroll faithful's hung with them, and they've answered the call. There you see them. They're warming up. The sun comes out, and the Carroll Crazy starts standing up.
Well, and you when you look back at the beginning of this game, Bobby, and all the mistakes that Carroll had, the turnovers, could have been a lot worse, but they hung in there, got behind by 17, but never let the game get out of reach, and then just slowly work their way back as Klaus will kick it off for the Saints.
There's
Gets
a lot of
foot into this one.
There's a lot of panicked Carroll faithful, but the Coach Purcell wasn't panicked.
No, and he, the job he did at halftime, whatever he told his team, whatever adjustments they made, certainly have paid off. And I mean, this is a guy that has had great success in his 6th season now. Won a couple of Frontier Conference championships already. Had all kinds of experience at the college level, Bozeman High School, Havre, University of Idaho with the Vandals under Coach Petrino. So he clearly knows what he wants to do and how he wants to do it, and he has taken the Saints team that's been really beat up. You mentioned the running back situation, the problem in their kicking game, and yet despite all of that, they have ridden their way to the top of the Frontier Conference standings with 3 weeks to go. So a lot of football left to go here. First down from the 25. They show blitz, come up, and they get it to Yates out of the backfield, who's still on his feet at the 45 to the 50. Inside Carroll territory. Down to the 35-yard line, and a huge gain by Yates on the first play from scrimmage.
Well, we asked for a little bit more Yates in the last possession, and right there, he's a guy that's going to fix that problem if you're Southern Oregon. You know who you got to get the ball to. Quit being creative. Hand the ball to 22. Let him have his way with it. He's had success with it. Why go away with something that's been that successful for you? You see it there on the screen pass right there. Big, big, big play, and exactly what Southern Oregon needed. They're back in Carroll territory.
First down from the 35. Under 10 to play here in the 4th. Raiders down for the first time, and this time met behind the line of scrimmage. And again, that front wall of Carroll College coming up big on first down. Yates shaking up.
A little bit slow getting up on that one is Hunter Peck, first guy there, and then a couple other purple jerseyed guys right in there to help him out, pushing Yates back. As Yates going to take a breather on this one. Their first look today at Isaiah Hidalgo into the backfield now for Southern Oregon.
Special teamer today so far, but now comes into the game. Loss of 2, so 2nd and 12 from the 37. Now in the empty backfield, Ashudo fires out there to Hidalgo, who somehow manages to hang on to the football, makes the catch at the 31, so picks up 6, and that'll set up 2nd and 6.
Well, we've talked about the size of Southern Oregon's various receivers right there. Hidalgo, they list him at 5'9". He's about 5'6". And, that would normally hit a guy right, in the wheelhouse right there. Hidalgo made a great effort, great play on that one. He is exciting with the ball in his hands. Little different back, a little more scat and peekaboo, but he is fun to watch when he's got the ball in his hands right there, able to pick up 4 on the little outlet pass from Ashudo.
So here we go on 3rd and 6, ball at the 31. Ashudo looks out to his right, and that is incomplete.
They're going to call it incomplete.
That's a good job defensively by Carroll. That's Orlandi who got in there and did not allow the receiver to come down with the catch, so that sets up 4th down.
Well, Cleveland right there, 6'6", goes up high to get this one, just gets pushed out of bounds by Orlandi before he could get his feet down. Great job by Orlandi, recognizing that he just has to push him out of bounds as he does, to great timing on the hit as he was still in midair. And Cleveland thought he came down with it, but Orlandi timed that one up perfectly on the way down, pushes him out of bounds. Big 4th down play here for Southern.
They're going to go. So the Raiders will go on 4th down. They
Carroll
need 6 from the 31. Carroll's got everybody. Here they come, straight up the middle. Incomplete pass. Great
Graham right
coverage
there.
back there by Graham.
Great position on that play. Doesn't wrap around to draw the flag. And the ball falls harmlessly incomplete as Ashudo unable to complete that one. But great big play on the edge from the Dillon product, Graham, as the ball goes over to the Saints. Turnover on downs from Southern Oregon gives this Carroll the lead and the ball for the first time today.
So the Saints come up with a huge defensive stop after the go-ahead touchdown and now have the ball at the 31, first down, 7:49 to play, fourth quarter. Perka looks, and now he's going to be taken down for a loss on the play. So the Raider defense responds, and that is Brandon Dominguez, the sophomore from Medford, who makes the stop.
Yeah, Dominguez is in there along with Gabe Foster from his defensive end spot. And the impact that Foster had in the first half, not necessarily to this point, but Perka still can't hold on to the ball behind his offensive line. He's got to get that ball out quick. That's when Carroll's offense, when the timing's there, that's when they're operating the best. This defensive line still has some life, affected that play quite well.
Big loss on the play, so Perk on second down. A little screen to Rickman, and it goes up over the 30 to the 31.
Gets that yardage back that they lost on the sack right there. Just gets back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10 here. That defensive line found a little life on the rest that they got while their offense was out driving. Good effect right there, good upfield rush. Rickman still able to get that yardage back.
Got the sack yardage back, so 3rd and 10. Boy, every possession now so important.
For both of these teams, right?
No question. No question, 3rd down. And if you're Carroll College, number 11's a good guy to have back there pulling the trigger. Perka now pulls it down, finds Rickman wide open at the 40. Falls forward to the 45 and a first down for the Saints.
That was huge, just getting enough for the first down. I thought he was going to stop his feet. He continued to get his feet parallel and able to make that guy miss, gets the first down. But there's a lot of people in Montana, at other schools right now rooting for this Carroll College team to hold it home today. Because right now, if Southern Oregon wins, they're in the driver's seat. They hold the tiebreaker over Western. So the folks in Dillon on the bus ride home from Northern are watching this one intently.
Big 3rd down conversion, 1st and 10 from the 44, under 6 to play. Perk, a little shovel pass inside.
Didn't work earlier either.
Yeah, it didn't work at all as they got it to Ochoa. Couldn't do much with it. Taken down at the 45. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Well, Rickman going right now at running back. Now their 5th guy at running back that they've had so far this year. And he's done a good job just running downhill, moving this offense, providing the protection that Perka needs, and then being effective in the passing game.
2nd and 9. Clock now beginning to play a factor as we wind down to the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Here's Perka. Quarterback draw. Gets collared at the 45, but falls forward to the 50. Good gain on the play, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Adonis Jackson had him in the backfield, and Perka showing a little bit of resilience right there, uses a little bit of his own weight room power, able to get out of Jackson's hold, gets another 4 or 5 yards there, brings up 3rd and 4 here, right at the midfield stripe.
Bobby, if you can finish this drive off with a touchdown, you can slam the door on Southern Oregon, all but do that. Clock continues to run. Here's another big 3rd down. Perka looks, fires, and that is caught at the 36-yard line, and that's their wide receiver, Colin Stoddard.
That's a huge catch.
It sure is.
That is an absolute huge catch. Perka had time that time. Defense getting a little bit tired, and Perka able to sit back, let the routes develop, and find Stoddard downfield for another first down, this time into Southern Oregon territory as Carroll has another sustained drive here in the second half.
And he's in for the Injun Vandenaker, and Stoddard makes his first catch of the day, but none bigger. First down from the 37. Under 4 to play. Rickman hit right at the line of scrimmage, falls forward, maybe picks up 1 on the play. Porter in on the tackle.
Yeah, Santos, the big interior defensive lineman right there, holding court inside, just playing down the line of scrimmage right there. Rickman unable to run away from him, falls forward for a couple, but that clock continues to run here as Carroll College has the ball in the 4th in Southern Oregon territory, driving late.
Well, and if you're Southern Oregon coming down, you've got all 3 timeouts and another first down drive here, and they'll be forced to use them. So gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Saints have been good. Oh, there's an incomplete pass.
Great job. Southern Oregon brought a little bit of pressure, brought a linebacker. Somebody came free, got the hand up in the face of Perka, tipped the ball at the line of scrimmage, stops the clock here. Big third down again for Carroll College.
Ball's at the 36. 3:03 to play in the fourth.
Southern Oregon brings in another defensive back and a rush 3 here up front. Brings in a nickel back, actually a dime back because they already had nickel on the field. So they're going to play for pass and let Carroll throw the ball here.
They need 9.
Straight zone here for Southern.
Perka's got plenty of time. Still looks. Now keeps the football, and he'll be taken down in the open field, well short of the first down. Purcell with the tackle, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of people that are heated there. They thought Purcell kind of twisted the leg of Perka on the tackle.
We got a late flag.
Well, that may be it.
We've had a great game as far as officiating. They let them play right there, but
watch this at the end of the play.
We watch things go, and again, the officials have done a great job today letting these guys decide it on the field. As you watch Perka scramble out, and we're going to get the call right here while we're watching the replay. Here we go. They're going to call it on the defense right there. As you saw it right there, as he put in a little extra mustard on the tackle right there. Perka doesn't look any worse for the wear, but that's a huge mistake by Southern Oregon. Is that extracurricular activity is going to draw the flag. Perka kept his head, didn't fire back. And that penalty flag drives them even deeper right inside the 20-yard line of Southern as they come to the line of scrimmage. Big mistake there by the sophomore linebacker, Iona Purcell.
Would have been a fourth down as he was stopped well short. Yeah, so timeout now is taken. We have 2:51 to play in the fourth. The penalty gives the Saints a first down, moves the ball to the 19-yard line. Let's go down to Jack Marshall.
Yeah, a few things to point out there. We just heard from our producer, Dave. That was some real good restraint from the Carroll bench not to run onto the field. But, yeah, I mean, a pretty crazy play. The guy twisted his leg right in front of the home bench. Coach Purcell is going to pick up on that one every time, especially when it's the quarterback like Jack Perka. It's been a pretty flag-free game. And then just one other update, Gavin Vandenacre, we saw him on a stretcher leave the game, Carroll College receiver. There's 2 ambulances out back here, and neither of them have left the stadium. So just something to keep an eye on. He had an air cast on his leg. I'll give you some more updates if you need it on that. But back to you guys up top.
Thank you so much, Jack. So
somebody's probably got a phone. They're probably waiting for a parent or whatnot so that they can get a phone so they can get our broadcast to Mr. Vanderacre so he knows what's going on out here. Wish that young man the best as he made some big plays for this Carroll offense.
Rickman blasts his way down inside the 15 to the 14. So gain of nearly 5 on the play. They'll give him 4 and a timeout taken
just
by
like
Southern
you said,
Oregon.
Chris.
Yeah.
Just like you said, they're forced to take those timeouts, trying to keep it to a 1-score game as the clock does not become the friend of anybody dressed in white here on the field today.
Yeah, you pick up another first down on this drive. It's going to make things awfully tough. So the Raiders forced to use their timeouts.
Well, and let's not forget the adventure that has become the Carroll College kicking game, right?
Yeah.
So we've had all sorts of things. Had the field goal blocked earlier, and then, we don't have to worry about a punt. But, there's a lot of things still in play here. And so Coach Burke on the other sidelines taking that into consideration. And then this timeout is very smart because you're going to get a play here, get your guys a break so that they can get a breather and a little bit of fire in their belly. And then we've got the 2-minute timeout coming here pretty quick. So he's going to get the ability to stop the clock a couple more times and hopefully give his offense a chance to answer whatever happens here with Carroll.
So it is 2nd and 7 from the 15. Saints trying to come all the way back from being down 17 and pick up a win. Perka just keeps the football and is taken down in the open field. Man, that was a nice open field tackle turned in by, I believe that was Dylan Daniels.
Yeah, the corner right there coming up huge, keeping Perka inbounds. They're going to take another timeout here. Stop the clock again. Again, the 2-minute timeout. Can't call it a 2-minute warning. That's in another level of football, I believe, Chris. But we got 2:35 here some meaningful downs left to be played.
Well, it has come down to the wire, and so much on the line for this game. A win by Carroll College would firmly entrench them into first place in the Frontier Conference at 6-0. They'd have sole possession with 2 games remaining in the schedule, 2 very big games.
Road games as well,
yeah,
right?
Down in Dillon to take on Montana Western, which won big today over MSU Northern, as we mentioned. And then to close out the season in Butte against Montana Tech, the I-15 coming their way in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, the I-15 corridor. These are some big rivalry games, and the meaningfulness of this game wasn't lost on either coach. They know what's at stake right here. Southern Oregon, knowing that they've as much, they have to play Eastern Oregon in College of Idaho coming up. College of Idaho is absolutely gutted injury-wise, and Eastern Oregon has the dangerous quarterback. But they were looking forward to, I don't want to say take a week off, but this is a big game for them, trying to learn how to travel to Montana as Carroll continues to push here.
Here's Perka with plenty of time. Now tries to dance out of trouble, wrapped up, taken down, and a big loss on the play. A huge defensive play by Gabe Foster.
Yeah, those defensive ends didn't give up right there. And coming around the edge on both sides, they've both had huge days today. Gabe Foster and Adonis Jackson right there. As Perka, the senior quarterback, takes the sack. One of the things you didn't want to have happen if you're Coach Purcell, it's like, throw the ball away, dude. Big 4th down here.
Probably takes the Saints out of field goal range, as we're going to come down to the 2-minute break here. And the Raiders out of timeouts. We'll see what they do here on 4th down, 21-17. Buckle in. We got 2 minutes left in Helena. Oregon trailing by 4 with the football, no timeouts remaining. The Saints with 21 unanswered will try to shut the door one more time on this Raider offense.
Well, Klaus here, biggest kick of his career to this point.
This is going to be from 35, so it'll be a 45-yard field goal attempt for Klaus.
And remember, Chris, they got great push on the one side of the offensive line before the half and blocked it earlier. Close there.
Oh, he's got the leg, it looks like, and this one is no good.
Missed it left.
Oh, boy. So looked like he had enough to get it there, but missed left. So now the Raiders with the football. 1:54 to play in the 4th.
Well, everybody's going to have to tune in the whole 60 minutes today, Chris. No turning this one off early to go watch whatever else is on tonight.
No leaving early.
Lots of folks sitting here, lots of uneasy bellies in the stands right now. People are asking them to stand up. The home crowd asking to get out of their seats and have an impact here.
That Raider offense, it is explosive.
They
comes out on the field.
Early 2000s rock to play on the stereo here now. Yates is back in.
First down from the 28. Again, no timeouts. Ashudo chased and throws it away and almost taken down for a huge sack, but somehow managed to get it away as Julio comes in on the pressure.
And Gross back there, double G pressure for the Saints as Julio came from his hybrid linebacker slash safety position and forced Ashudo to get rid of that one. He had all day back there. Yeah, offensive line still protecting well this late in the game. Clock stopped. This Carroll defense been playing well all second half, has held this Southern Oregon offense scoreless. Ashudo, the senior quarterback, trying to lead him down for the go-ahead score.
Let's see if they bring pressure again. And Ashudo inside his 20, fires out here to his right, and he's got a man complete.
That's an important play right there.
That to Sawyer Cleveland.
And Cleveland tackled in bounds right there.
Yeah, clock runs, short gain.
As this defense has continued to come up big in different situations.
Gain of 4. That's going to bring up 3rd and 6. Ashudo cross the middle and a first down catch at the 40-yard line.
And they'll stop the clock here to move the chains. Great point from the guys in the truck as this Carroll defense had a hole dug early, but just bowed their necks and has held Southern Oregon well under their season point total and find themselves in a battle here late.
First down, Ashudo feels pressure, rolls out of that. Now directing traffic and fires out there, and that is...
They're going to give him the catch. That's Cleveland on the edge, all the way over there across, just camped out right there. Just an outlet as Ashudo found him, and this time he was able to keep his feet on the ground, makes the catch, gets out of bounds, stops the clock, under a minute here to go late in Helena.
So the ball is at the 48. Gain of 7. They need 3 for the first down. 54 ticks to go. Well, if you are Southern Oregon, you have one of the most prolific offenses in the country, and they will need that here. 2nd and 3. Ashudo fires out here, and that is caught at the 45. And another first down catch as Wickman, the tight end, will move the chains and get out of bounds.
Smart play by Wickman. Catches the ball, doesn't necessarily take a chance and look around, just gets out of bounds, stops the clock as the Raiders driving now into Saints territory. Crowd right now into this one, a little bit apprehensive. They're not sitting on their hands, they're just put their hand in their mouth. Not a lot of action from the Carroll College faithful as they're standing and watching right now.
Ball's at the 43. Everybody up on the line for Carroll. Here they come, full on, and it pays off. Incomplete pass, 2nd down.
Yeah, that was either number 19, Hunter Peck, or Cameron Pruitt coming off the right edge of the offensive line right there, able to get their hands up and knock the ball down. Brings up 2nd down as Ashudo saw the pressure. Carroll showed it early. They made the initial adjustment. There was a couple of guys unaccounted for off that right side of the line of scrimmage, and one of them got a hand on that.
So incomplete pass now brings up 2nd down at the 43.
Not a hand on the ground here for this Carroll defense, trying to add confusion to the problem.
So Carroll sends 3 and almost taken down. They only rush 3 and almost get the quarterback sack. Incomplete.
Well, right there, that's big number 9, Garrett Warden, with pressure off the left side this time as Warden continues to push the pocket. Just comes right down on Ashudo, had him in his grasp, but Ashudo still the big senior quarterback, strong enough to get that one out downfield. Incomplete pass, so brings up a big 3rd down here. And yes, we are in 4th down territory. That's abundantly obvious to most folks.
So they need 10 to keep this drive going. 42 seconds to go in the 4th.
Got 2 downs to get 10. Need 7 points, though, if you're a Southern fan.
Saints again show blitz. Here they come, straight up the middle. Ashudo avoids one tackle, now throws, and incomplete. Brings up 4th down, intended for Sawyer Cleveland.
Hunter Peck from his defensive end spot brings the pressure right there, unable to bring him down, but creates enough anxiety in it that Ashuto underthrows his big wide receiver out in the end, Cleveland. And so we got 4th down in the game here for Southern Oregon. Need this one right here. Those that are able to stand are on their feet.
Do you bring the pressure again?
Yep, it's worked so far right now.
So.
They're getting good pressure on the edge with Carroll, showing pressure up the middle. But I'll tell you what, Southern's got some big wide receivers. They got to come up with a big play here, not to mention their tight ends.
4th and 10 from the 43. They set up a little screen, and this is going to be short of the first down.
Carroll defense showed pressure, rallied up the motors, chased Yates down from behind.
And the Saints will win this game. He put 3 receivers to the top, came back the other way on the screen to Yates, and he has stopped short of the first down.
And so Southern Oregon jumps out to an early lead, unable to hang on, and this Carroll defense continues its dominance from the second quarter on, finds a way to keep them in it. The offense does just enough, scores a couple of times, and Carroll looks like they're going to come away here victorious. There's a lot of people in Montana that are pretty happy. There's a busload of Bulldogs on their way home from Northern that right now are chomping at the bit to get a chance to see Carroll at home down there in the new stadium, Bulldog Stadium in Dillon.
Boy, that sets up a huge game next week, doesn't it, Bobby?
Absolutely. Carroll's got to go all the way down I-15 Saturday morning to Dillon, where they're playing for the championship, and that's nothing new to this Carroll College team as Coach Purcell jogs out there. Another Frontier Conference championship being played next week here on I-15.
So the Saints survive 3 first-half turnovers, some problems in the kicking game, some injuries, you name it, they had it.
Find a way.
Find a way to rally from 17 down, 21 answered points. And I'll tell you, the defense, you can't say enough about the Saints defense as they pitch the shutout in the second half en route to those 21 points and the win. We'll be back to wrap things up here in Helena. Stay with us. You're watching college football on SWX. Number 21, Carroll College, knocks off Southern Oregon, the 8th-ranked team in the country, 21-17, the final score. And Bobby, for the Saints, and we knew it was a brutal 4-game stretch to close the season, 2 up, 2 down, and now the big showdown in Dillon next week as they face off against Montana Western.
Yeah, just watching Coach Purcell there talking to his men they found a way, right? And there's a lot of things that didn't go right. But at the end, the only stat that's going to matter is the one on the scoreboard. And right now, Carroll came ahead in that one category.
Final thoughts from our own Jack Marshall. Jack?
I'll tell you what, boys, I was so nervous on the sideline on that last drive, I could barely watch the game. But at the end of the day, great game. Carroll College, everyone wrote them off. For the first game, they had the hardest 4-game stretch to end the season as probably anyone in the NAIA. But wow, 2 huge wins against ranked opponents, and it's only going to get more fun down the stretch of the Frontier Conference, and we're going to bring it to you here in SWX. Great to be with you boys today.
Pleasure was ours as well. Jack, thank you so much for all your work this afternoon. Hope you did well this afternoon, and you know what we're talking about. But we did had a great time bringing you this game today here at Nelson Stadium, and boy, does it set up for a fantastic finish in the Frontier Conference. Sets the table for next week in Dillon with Montana Western, and then of course to close the season, 2 weeks as we're down in Butte and Montana Tech. All these teams we're talking about still in the mix for a postseason playoff berth. The polls will shake up a little bit, but these teams are going to hang around. And so we'll see what happens next time we get together on Frontier Conference Football on SWX. Thanks so much to all of our guys for the great work they do today and every week we bring you college football. So everyone involved in our broadcast today, for Bobby Beers, I'm Chris Byers saying so long from Helena.